Our today's resource person will be guiding you about how you can be job ready. And for that, the most important thing is how to make a good CV.
Yes, sir.
Good. And in which field you are looking out? In which broader area you are looking for job?
In finance sector only, sir.
In finance sector, in banking only?
Yeah, some bank. More focused towards banks only, sir.
Good.
Bank, NBFCs, both sides.
Nowadays, but I think, Rachita, that these new banking things, they are also coming up, like Navi and all that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they are also hiring in a good numbers.
So,
Good. So let few students join, then we will be starting this session.
okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
These kind of students, the chit chats give us the opportunity to know more about you and the opportunities what you are looking out. That's why I was having a chat with Rachita. Any other student? You can open your mic, your camera. Ganesh, Ayushi, Amisha.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Myself, Ganesh. Now I am doing, sir. I am now in family business, sir.
Good.
So,
Class.
but want to be in insurance company or any banking sector.
Good, good, good.
Tanya.
And what is your previous qualification, Ganesh?
Sir, graduation in BTech Mechanical.
Okay. Good. And what kind of family business you are handling?
Cloth merchant, sir.
Cloth merchant.
Clothing, yes.
Okay. So you are mainly looking out a real role in sales or what kind of role you are looking for?
No, sir. I'm looking for like assistant manager or something like that.
No. In assistant manager, there are many roles in the insurance companies or the banking. That's why I'm asking. What is your dream role?
Sir, honestly, I don't think.
Good. No issue.
Yes.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Welcome, sir.
Any other student? Hello. Good evening to the new joinees of this workshop.
I kind of expected that.
until Friday na.
Mhm.
Plus, on a final response is like kita na aja tapi.
Sir, you are requested to mute your mic.
Sincere apologies.
So students, before starting this session, I will request to you, all of you, that whenever you are having any question, any query during this session, you can open your mic and have your query answered by our expert, today's expert. So we will be starting today's session with introduction of our today's resource person, Mr. Arpit Thakur. Mr. Arpit Thakur is an assistant professor at Lovely Professional University. He has proven experience in mentoring the professionals in counseling as well as upskilling them in the areas of data management, presentation, as well as word processing skills. He is having the many certifications also, which are in demand, like ERP systems, data visualization, career counseling, and presentations. Mr. Arpit is an renowned academician with a work experience of over 7 years. He is passionate about upskilling and research, having many publications in various national and international journals. Mr. Thakur regularly delivers faculty development programs and that are providing training to the professionals also. He is actively handling the responsibilities at Center for Distance and Online Education at Lovely Professional University, and he is even instrumental in working on the placement of our students. So for not taking much of the time between our students and Mr. Arpit Thakur, now I hand over the baton to Mr. Arpit Thakur. Arpit sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcomes you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. See, the thing is, when we are going through this session, I would really like everybody, like suppose if I'm asking something, if I'm getting some feedback, I would really like the people, unmute yourself and start speaking, because it's this presentation kind of expect you to express yourself, right? So this whole session would be about how do you express yourself, and expressing what could be better if you're expressing yourself with with your voice, with live interaction, rather than just sending your messages on the text. And that is why exclusively we have put it into this section, a session where you can always unmute yourself, can speak, you can show your videos also if you want. So that's totally up to you, but only then when I'm seeking some feedback, or whether if you want to ask a certain question. Otherwise it could cause a kind of a mess. So I hope everybody will be enjoying this session. There a lot of learning is going to be there, and in between I'll show you some examples also, that what should be and what should not be. So everything will be relatable, and I hope everybody can relate here. So without any further delay, let us start our session. Basically, we have named this session as Career Hacking, Becoming Job Ready. So what is becoming job ready, and how do you get ready for a job? Most of you are still working professionals also. They have most of you have experience. So we will take your experience, we will take the benefits of your experience also to conduct this session, and let us have a good learning and understanding based of session. So when we talk about career, okay, we also talk about career cycle. So I would like to gain certain perception of yours, that when you see or when you hear this term career cycle, what do you understand by the term career cycle? What is your perception regarding this term career cycle? Anybody could unmute and tell us that this is my perception of career cycle. Anyone? I would really like somebody to share their perception about career cycle. Yes. Participants, Ashi, Abhay, Amarjeet, anyone who want to? see, career cycle could be like what was the starting point of your career? Where have you started your career? Where you are right now in your career and where you want to go to in your career. That could be a kind of a basic structure of a career cycle. So if somebody wants to share that, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So would really love anyone who can give their perception about career cycle.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Govardhan.
Sir, I think the career cycle is a process
Yes,
of getting the finished degree from the college
correct.
and getting a job to starting as a professional career.
Okay, getting into a college could be a starting of a career cycle. Very good, Govardhan. Nice perception, I could say. Somebody has written in the chat also, life cycle of an employee is the career cycle. So that means the person believes that getting employed is the starting point of a career cycle, right? Sonia has written this. You say that getting employed is the career cycle, right? Sonia? Okay, fine. I could expect some more perception so that we can have a fruitful discussion on this particular topic.
Sir, like experience gained from the jobs.
Gaining experience from the job could be career cycle, right? See, it was rightly said by Mr. Govardhan that the career cycle could be, it's a process. It's not just a point, but it is a process. And generally a process starts from a point and it ends to a point, and between the starting and ending point, what you have gone through, that is a complete career cycle. And if I take the point of a career cycle, like if somebody wants to explain a career cycle could be getting admission to that is completely my perception. Your perception could be different, but let us just discuss about one example of a career cycle. You have got admission into an institute for a particular program, like you want to do certain degree, so you have taken admission into an institute. That could be like start of your career. And then once you done your hard work, you completed your degree. So that's in process of a career cycle, that yes, you have grown into your career and now you have completed your degree. And just after completing the degree, what you do, you start on board or you get job. Fine. So that could be another step of your career cycle, that you have taken admission, then you have completed the degree, and now you're working, you have got a job. So that could compile a career cycle. It's a process, I can say. But do you think, is it so simple? This is so simple, the career cycle is so simple, or something is missing in this particular career cycle? What do you think? This is as simple as it appears in this presentation, the career cycle, or something we are still missing, or we should hunt for something extra to define this complete career cycle? Okay, somebody, Abhay, has written the life cycle of an employees to employee relationship beginning with one of the organization. Okay, that is a life cycle of an employee. Fine. So basically, in terms of our, all of us, you are students here, and then some of you are working also. So when we are talking about career cycle in terms of a student, we've taken admission, completed the degree, on board with a job. So, but after completing the degree and getting on board with a job, there could be certain more steps which we are also supposed to do, right? And or whatever exercise we are putting, whatever exercise you are putting, that is also something which we want to provide you. The placement support. What is placement support? We want to provide you, so that the missing part after completing the degree and getting on board with the job, the process which is there in between these two things, that could also be included in your career cycle, right? So when I talk about what is the missing part, can somebody suggest which part is missing over here? After completing the degree and before getting a job, what do you supposed to do? What ideally people do? Anyone?
Maybe it's recruitment.
Recruitment. So when you go for recruitment, what happens? What is the first step? Like if you want to go for recruitment, what should you do? Personality development. Okay, Vishakha said recruitment, personality development. Any other responses?
Interview.
Interview. Very good. So recruitment, personality development, interview. Any more response?
Make good profile.
A better profile, a worthy profile, right? Preparation
Yes.
for interview. Very well, very well. See, we can sum up every answers which you are giving. All of these are very relatable. Designing a resume according to my skills and knowledge. So Nikhil has written design a resume according to my skill and knowledge. So yes, we will talk about it. I could say, Nikhil, it's the answer which could be correct, but not completely. How this answer is not completely correct, that you can also think about, or somebody could want to comment about it, why this answer is not completely correct. Okay, no problem. So if I want to say, see, everybody, we know that there is something missing part here, and we have taken certain perception that what things are missing. Okay, maybe preparation for interview, making a resume, okay, recruitment, upskilling yourself, everything is there. Fine. So if I want to compile or complete this career cycle, I could say just after completing my degree, I would list out the employers who are hiring people like me. Fine. I will first of all list out all the employees. Then I will look into the employer's profile, that what kind of roles they are hiring for. And if some of the role is matching my profile or my skills, I could apply for those roles. And after applying for those roles, if I'm lucky, or if my profile is efficient enough, they can call me for interview, right? And once if I crack the interview, I could be on board with a job. So these could be the missing part. I can say we can connect the dots here. These could be the missing processes in the career cycle. Am I right or not? Okay, listing out the employees, applying for the relatable job, and if lucky, go for an interview. But again, before doing all so before going into these process also, like if you're going to apply for a job, you need to represent yourself. You need to put yourself as a brand, that yes, this person is a brand and this brand contains these specifications. So showing yourself as a brand could be like building a profile of your own. Okay, how will you show yourself as a brand? So there are some options that showing yourself as a brand. Okay, you could show yourself as a brand through your resume, through your CV. Nowadays, you have a lot of social media platforms like LinkedIn and other platforms where you put up your profile and show that what you have got for the industry, for the corporate. When building an effective profile is always, or it is a must nowadays, and it will always going to help you positively. And if your profile is not effective enough, what challenges you are going to face, that also we can discuss later on. We are going to discuss. Fine. So first, the stepping step of the career cycle, which we have talked about, getting admitted into the institute, and the last step which I have just shown you is getting the job. It's not that simple also. Okay, we have to go through a complete process, and that process includes this process. This is a critical process, a building up of a profile. Fine. And see, if you remember, very recently we have sought different your resumes, and you people have sent your resumes to us. And why we have planned this interaction? Because we found out that there is some lack of seriousness, or maybe there is some lack of information in the building a profile part. Okay, these challenges are there. If suppose the profiles which you people have sent us, and if we directly send those to the employers, there could be challenges of selection or screening out. Okay, that is why we want to highlight to all of our students that what you must do with your CVs, what you should not do with your CVs. That is why we have planned this particular session. And I hope everybody is serious here, because it's a serious job here, which we are going to discuss. And if you are serious, if you are proactive, then only you can, you can take out something from today's session also. That's very important. So if you understand that for completing the dots, for connecting the dots, we need to have an effective profile, whether you're talking about your resume, whether you're talking about your LinkedIn profile, your portfolios. Fine. So you should be very serious about it, and you should think a little in depth about those things. Fine. So we are going to show you the depth. What could be the depth? Fine. So before straightforward moving on to job application, before starting to the resumes or building a profile, I just want to draw your attention towards some statistics, some facts about job application. So this data will show you the gray part of job application or career building, because job application or career building is not a rosy picture. It's not black, it's not white. There is some gray areas which you must know, and which you must explore, or I think you must have experienced also this part. if you show this graph, if you see this graph over here, you can see on the x-axis, I have representing the number of applications sent by a particular individual and probability of him or her getting a job. Here you can see if somebody is sending from 11 to 80 applications, his or hers profile, his or hers probability of getting the job is somewhere around 61%, or roughly 60%. Fine. So these number of applications you have to send to get a job, and that too without a probability of 100%. So you can see a lot of effort, a lot of efforts need to be put to get a job offer. If you see some more highlighting figures over here, you can see. Just a second. Okay. If you see, basically, if an individual on an average spends 10 hours every week to seek job. Now, seeking job could be looking for job on internet, okay, applying for the job. So on an average, 10 hours every week is spent by this job seeker. And when he performs these job seeking application, a person gets like 61.7% chances of interview after he is able to send 10 applications. So getting an interview, getting a call for an interview is just chance of getting the call is 61.7% after sending 10 applications. And chances of getting offer is 51% after, getting interviewed 3 times. So you can see the number of effort, the amount of effort a person needs to put for getting a job offer. So it's not that rosy. It's not that easy to go, get a job. How do you stand out? See, these are all the data. These are all the figures at an average. So how you could be more than average, how you can be extraordinary than ordinary. All those things we are going to convey through these sessions. So I hope you will be, actively participating and listening to whatever I want to convey. And if you feel these are really suitable and relatable for you also, then you can give your inputs also. Fine. So keeping all of these, harsh realities in our mind, let's move forward with our session. Basically, this session, I have divided the whole session into 2 parts. The first part would be about building blocks of your profile. Now, what are the major building blocks of your profile? And second, next, I will be talking about step-by-step process of building your profile. So first, I will tell you that what are the major parts of your profile that should be there in your profile. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So I was telling you that. Just a second.
जनवरी में
okay.
कितना अमाउंट का है इसका?
Okay. So I was telling you that this presentation is going to be divided into two major parts. First part, I will be talking about the building blocks of a profile that a profile must have. If you're making a resume, what content, what part should be there in your profile? That is the building blocks of your profile. And second, I will be talking about the step-by-step, making the profile. Every step I will be talking about in very detail. I will be providing you certain resources also that will help you big time while making your profile. Fine. So here we are talking about making a profile or making a resume in the current world. The current scenario is about automation. Everything is, all the industries, the sectors, they are trying to automate everything, even the process of hiring. Fine. Many big corporates have their software packages installed for the hiring. They are called as application tracking system. You might have heard about it. There are AI systems. They have implemented these systems just to scan your resumes. Fine. So when you send your resume to a corporate, it's very likely that your resume will not even be, shown to a person. A robot, a software is scanning your resume, and on an average, 50 to 70% of the resumes are, screened out, are separated, are weeded out by the system itself. It is not even reaching to the people. Fine. So it's very critical. It's very important to, bypass or in order to get through this automation system also, AI system also. Your resume should be effective. I would request everybody to unmute themselves if they are not, if they are not going to talk to me, or if I'm not asking anything. Most of the time, please keep yourself mute. When I ask, please unmute at that time. Otherwise, it will create certain disturbance. So I was talking about first thing which we should take care about our resumes or our profiles is your resume should be robot proof. Your resume should be ATS proof, so that you should not be screened out by the software, by the machine. Okay, so that is what it is very important in today's world, that your resume should stand out. And how your resume can stand out? There should be two key ingredients in your resume that must be present. That is, your resume should be powerful. When I say powerful, that means the content which you are presenting in your resume, the skills which you are showing in your resume, that should be very relevant, relatable. That will make your resume powerful. Second, your resume must contain all the keywords which can let your resume pass through an ATS system. ATS system is application tracking system or AI system or softwares, right? Because those softwares works on particular logic. Logic is scanning for the keywords. If your resume contains all the keywords which is required by the companies or the position or the roles, then your resume will not be separated by the system. Your resume can easily pass through it. Fine. So for keeping your resume to stand out, your resume should be powerful, as well as it should contain the keywords appropriately placed. Okay, so that your resume can pass out through a ATS system. I hope it is clear to all of us, right? That what is an ideal resume, okay, how it should be. It must be clear to all of us at this moment. If there are any doubt, you can anytime unmute and ask me. Right. So I believe it is clear to everyone at this moment. Now, when we are talking about resume, and this is the building block part which I was talking about, that my presentation is going to be, the two major parts of my presentation is going to be building blocks and the step-by-step process. So here I'm starting with the building block. When I say building blocks of a resume, I could say the most important part of a resume is displaying your core skills, showing your core skills. Why? Because the core skills are just like the wheels of a car. What does the wheels of a car do? Wheels of a car, generally what they do, they take the people from one position to forward to another position. Similarly, your resume, these are the skills which you put in your resume, and these skills will act as a car, wheels of the car, and it will take your resume forward. Okay, when your resume is taken forward, it will reach to a person, an expert. Fine, that expert usually don't spend a lot of time on your resume. On an average, an expert spends maximum of 6 seconds on your resume. Just a 6 second to validate or to check yourself, to judge your years of hard work. Okay, they hardly take 6 seconds. So how do they scan the entire resume just in 6 seconds? Because of their experience, they have experted this technique, which is called as eye scanning techniques. So basically what happens if an expert sees a resume, what he say, his eyes generally placed into certain locations of the resume. Now what you need to do is you need to put all your core skills or most of your core skills into these areas, so that whenever some expert is seeing your resume, his eyes are catching your skills there, right? And then your resume will shout that yes, you have those skills which an organization needs to thrive. So that is the most critical part, having the core skill and placing the core skill in those critical areas of eye scanning. That is very important to understand, right? Now, what you need to do as an individual, you have some skills. I have shown skills by 1, 2, 3, and 4, these circles. So if you place these skills into those critical regions, and anybody who is seeing your resume, okay, the expert who is seeing your resume, he will understand that this person has all those skills which is required for my particular corporation, particular role. So it's not easy to discard your resume in that case. I hope it is clear. Yes. Please ask your doubt at this moment. How do you understand what core skills you have? Where should I place? And how the resume should look like? What should be the structure of a resume? These things we are talking about in very basic right now. Okay. Now, see, just in order to understand everything which I have just said, I can take one example also. Like, let's say this is a guy. His name is Harry, right? Now, what he is doing, he has completed a job. Now he's looking for a web developer role. He's looking for a role here. Now, what he will do, he will go online and he will check for the job portals about a job he is looking into. Now, what he did is he found certain job descriptions by the companies which are posting the job descriptions. Now, this is a kind of a job description look like. A job description is basically what it will tell about the company in some lines. Then it will talk about the company's mission, company's culture. Then it will talk about the requirements, the position. Fine. So everything in detail it will talk about. So what Harry has done, Harry understood the job description. He read the job description, and then he was able to find out. He was able to highlight the particular requirements of the company or the job. So he was able to highlight certain things from the job description. Now he understood if he possessed all of these things in his profile, company might call him. Fine. So he listed all of these things out from the job description. And then what he did, he has understood that out of these things, Harry already possessed most of the skills. Fine. So what he did, he placed all of these requirements, all of these skills into his resume. So next time if somebody is reading his resume, they will understand, yes, this guy is suitable for this role which I have posted. So this is how what you or what all of us should do with our resumes. Fine. So in order to understand this whole procedure, I have planned an activity here. In this activity, what we are going to do, everybody will participate in this activity, I hope. So what we are going to do is we are going to reverse engineer the skills from the job description. I'm going to show you some sample job descriptions. Mostly I will show you one job description. And from that job description, all of us, we will try to, figure out what companies require, what is the skills they are, looking for. So out of all, there could be ample amount of skills that you can figure out. But what we are going to do is we are going to find top 6 skills. The priority we are going to set. We are going to set what are the major 6 skills a company is looking through its job description. Right? So everybody is with me to start the activity, right? Yes or no? We can start the activity?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I click on this button, it will take me just a second. I'll share my screen. Okay. So here you can see there is a job description posted by a company, Venmo, for this position. Let's say any position it could be. Here, for an example, I have put it this position, iOS engineer. Fine. So this job description is posted by the company. We will try to understand what is this job description about, what is the role, and what are the requirements from the job description. And then we will try to figure out 6 skills, major 6 skills. So as I have told you, job description generally contains the definition, the description about the company, culture of the company, and then the requirement. If I quickly read through the job description, you can also read. The company was founded on the principles. So it is showing the principles of the company, breaking down the intimidating barriers around financial transaction to make them intuitive, friendly, and even fun. And it worked. People love sending money with Venmo, and we are growing by leaps and bounds. So everything about the mission, vision, or I can say culture of the company, what are the core principles of the company. But we are only just getting started. We want to take the magic of sending money with Venmo and cascade it into every place where people use. So everything is about the company here. Now, what you can figure out from this description, when you are making your resume, you will understand that what is the culture of the company, what is the method, what is the what kind of personality the company has, and you can try to imbibe, you can try to reflect your personality as per this company's personality, so that company, whenever some people will read about you through your resume, they will understand that your personality matches with the requirement or matches with the institute. So it will increase your chance of getting you into the role. That is why it's very important to understand the principles of the organization also, and that could be figured out from the job description in the very first few paragraphs. Later on, the description also talks about the position also. Working on cutting edge app. This is used by millions that people love. We are looking for engineer who want to inspires others to change the world of payment. Engineering is a craft. We want the internals of our software to be as elegant as the end user experience we are designing. We teach and learn from one another. See, this line is very important. We teach and learn from one another, push each other. So what kind of characteristic does it build? Okay, basically one another, push each other. It is kind of a teamwork. It reflects teamwork, that companies expecting someone who can work in a team, who can grow with a team. Okay, we work with a product team that is data driven, human centered, and in its design principle. Very specific about the job position here, iOS engineering. We are looking for an iOS engineer who will be responsible for making engineering design decision and developing features pertaining to the iOS application. Very general statement it is regarding the job. And you will also be expected to be a role model on coding standard tools, platform, and other best practices in the backend team. Okay. Now, this is kind of a general introduction to the position. Now here they will be talking about very specific things in these lines. So they are expecting advanced technical standards and quality, collaborate with other engineers in particular, you can say skills, help to solve bugs, track software defects, ensure their timely resolution. Kind of a like, this could be one of the trait of a person, like the person could be a problem solver, find troubleshooter, building solutions for refactoring, again a trouble solver kind of a trait, improving testing and toolings, interface with product. So every, these are very specific traits which they are seeking from the individual. Okay, experience in working with object oriented programming skills, experience with software development lifecycle, familiarity with UI design. So these are very specific things they are asking. So you can understand the structure of a job description about the company's values, about the general working principle, about the specific things about the job role or the designation. So these could help you to frame what are the major requirements from the skill from the job description. Fine. So if I ask from the group that what do you think, which are the major expectation of the company through this job description, from the job description, what can you make out? What can you figure out that what is the major requirements? If I want 6 major requirements from the job description, can somebody suggest me 6 major job descriptions? What are the 6 major expectations from the job description? Anyone?
Team building.
Team building, yes. See, the core principle is asking, pushing and each other, and these things are very written very clearly from here. We teach, learn from one another, push each other. So it's kind of a team building. Yes. Very nice. Any other trait this company is looking through the job description? Experience with iOS, very specific experience with iOS. That is the second thing. Application development, very good. Communication, yes. Interpersonal skills. So we can look through these lines. More inputs, I would require more inputs, people, what they think. Yes, anyone? Rachita, Bhargav, Chandrika Reddy. Okay, somebody has written leadership, teamwork, problem solving, communication skills, creative, right? Okay, now see, as you are able to figure out that these are the requirements from the job description, now how you will put it in your resume, you understand that these are the job requirements. Now thing is, you will understand, do you have decision making, correct? So do you have these skills in you also? Or if not, how can you, imbibe, how can you reflect it in your personality through any records, through your experience? Fine, you need to reflect all of these skills in your CV also. So what you are going to do? Okay, that thing is the next question here. So let's just move forward. So from any job description, when you are into like, we are going to show you certain job openings. So for the job openings, there is always some job description. So from the job description, you have to, understand the requirement. And from that, you will try to list out your skills and the skills which are, mentioned in the job description. You need to, blend both of them. And you should have to blend it naturally. Fine. Like from the job description, which we have just saw, I was able to figure out these skills. And how do you write it? How do you show it on your resume? You must show it like naturally. Like I have seen a team building something is required in the job description. Or I can say developing in a team environment. I could say this was the most important requirement from the job description because it was there in the company value. It was there in the specification of the job also. So I can say the company is seeking someone who can develop in team environment. Now, as per the job role, somebody who can design and build APIs, applications, somebody who can troubleshoot, who can find bugs, somebody who knows the eligibility was somebody who knows object-oriented programming, who has a background in computer science education, fine. Somebody who can build and maintain applications, who is proficient with the software development. Like there could be ample amount of skills you can find from the job description, but what are the major ones that only you can understand because you have that the background. Suppose if I show you a job description from MBA profile, like product manager or something like that, sales executive, so you can figure out that these are the major skills required in the job description, and then try to take them out of the job description, make a better frame of that that particular skill which you are saying. Okay, make a a displayable thing, presentable thing, like the one I am showing you here, fine, and try to implement, try to translate them into your resume also. That is very important. So this is the first activity. I hope you can understand what I want to convey here. What do you need to do in the very first step of your profile building? Are you getting it or not? Any feedbacks, guys? Okay, thank you. So moving on with this activity, keeping this activity in our mind, see, keep all the building blocks in your mind. First activity we did is trying to understand about the core skills. That is the very first activity. I'm going to revisit everything when we are going to step-by-step process. Now the next thing, you have understood your core skills, you have understood how to show the skills on your resume. Next thing is optimizing your resume in the age of algorithm. We just talked about that companies hire softwares, packages who can scan your resumes. So how do you optimize your resume so that your resume will be ATS proof, AI proof, right? So you must optimize your resume. And how can you do that? There are 5 simple steps I'm going to show, or I'm going to explain here, so that your resume can be optimized in terms of moving through the ATS system. Fine. Now, when you're making a resume, you must ensure that your resume has a matching language with the job description. You have seen the job description, and you should write your resume on the same lines, so that your resume language of your resume matches with the job description or matches with the company's value. Fine. So your resume should be written in a matching language. Second, you should identify the buzzwords. Now, what are the buzzwords? Buzzwords are kind of a core words a company use. Like in the job description, it was written intuitive or team building. So such things are the buzzwords in the job description. You can find the job descriptions, or you can find the buzzwords from the company's website, mission and vision, from the job descriptions, and try to identify, try to implement, if it is possible, try to implement them into your resume also, so that company can relate with your personality easily. Now, when you're making resume, you should use solid titles. Now, what do you mean by solid titles? Generally, all of us, we have seen different CVs, different resumes as of now. And in the CVs, we use certain headings, certain titles like internship, project. So we simply write project, we simply write internship. So instead of writing a simple generic internship or project, we should make it more relatable. Like if you're looking for a job of product manager, fine. So don't write internship. If you have internship, which is similar to the role of product management, you can write product management internship. So people can easily move the other people who are reading your resume for just 6 seconds. So he can be highlighted to this zone where you have put your where you have written your internship. So it will be easy for the scanner to see. So use a relevant solid titles whenever you are sending your resume. Don't be very generic about it. Second, when the second last step is including relevant softwares. Now today we are into a world which is highly algorithmic, highly application oriented, software oriented. So when you're looking for a role, for a job, your job must expect you to know certain softwares, certain applications. So you should know about them. Okay, you should include those relevant software. Somebody is into like a project. Again, I'll give the same example of project management. So for project management, I could say data analysis is one of the important requirement of project management. So for data analysis, there could be ample amount of tools, softwares like Excel or something like that. Fine, those must be included in your CV. That could make you like, yes, you have at least the minimum requirements there. Okay, so you should include those softwares. Somebody says that I don't know software, how can I include? So in that case, nowadays we have so many instructional videos on YouTube, crash courses. So spend some time, at least know the basics of those software so that you can include it on your resume and write basics around it in the parentheses. So at least it will, the employer will see your resume and he will understand that at least you know about the software which they are going to use. Next is, after your resume is completed, you have completed your resume, you feel that your resume is fine now, it is according to the job description also. So please take an audit of your resume. Why audit of your resume? Because the AI systems which are going to scan your resume, they are looking for keywords. And you should also audit your keywords, what keywords you have used, how many times you have used, what is the suppose if you're using a particular keyword 5 times, that means that is your priority skill. Okay, and that priority skill should match with the priority of the job description also. So that is why it is important to take the keyword audit of the keywords. So either you do it manually, you count the number of keywords which you are repeating, or I have just a second. I can show you one of a effective way to take the audit of a keyword. If you go online on internet, and there are so many websites nowadays who can help you with this. If you go on Google and if you write word cloud, okay, so there are so many websites of word cloud. Like say, if I take this example, word cloud. Okay, so this website, what it will do, if I paste a text over here, if I paste any text over here, it will generate the word cloud of that text, and it will show you that a particular term is repeating into that text so many times. Like if I just copy and paste this one, okay, and if I apply, you see a word cloud is generated, and in this particular word cloud, you can see the words which are larger, which are bigger, they are repeated more number of time as compared to other words. So you can understand, if you paste your resume into this, you can understand which words are repeated most number of times. Let's say if I take an example here. Let's say this is some sample resume. Okay, and if I put it here, and if I apply, you see the word cloud has generated, and you can see bank is a bigger term, certificate, duration, organization. So this will generate the major keywords or major words which are repeated number of times there. Fine. So this is how you can also take audit of your keyword. Instead of going manually, you can make use of such websites to check or to audit your resume. So these are the 5 steps you must follow to optimize your resume according to the, to bypass the softwares. Now, if you have bypassed your resume from the softwares, how can you make your resume more powerful? If you remember, I have told you there are 2 must-have steps for a standout resume, that is a powerful resume and a keyword resume with proper amount of keywords. So how can you make your resume powerful? So for making your resume powerful or your content powerful, what you should do, you should take care of the words which you are using in your resume. Because generally what words do, words draws picture in the mind of the reader. For example, when I say sustainable energy, so when I say sustainable energy, it draws the picture of solar panels, wind turbine, electric cars. So all of these things, it is a power of the word which is, which is being uttered. So what words you are using as a content on your resume, that is also, will draw a picture. It will build trust with the reader. That is why you should use powerful word in your resume, so that you can build a trust, a confidence, originality in your resume. Fine. So it is very critical to use powerful words. And other than this thing, when you are making contents, when you are making statements on your resume, like you are explaining your job profile on your resume, you should supercharge the content. How can you supercharge the content? Fine. You can integrate brands. You can quantify the work you have done. You can put a little more details on your job profile, so that whenever a person is reading it, so he can see the powerful words, he can see the brand names, he can see the quantity and details. So he can easily relate that this person has genuinely worked hard on his previous roles. And now if I appoint him, he can also work in the similar passion here also. Fine. So that is why it is very important to make a powerful content for your resume. And how can you make it powerful? Just 4 things: using the powerful words, integrating brands, quantification, and detailing. These 4 things you must, put in your resume while designing the contents, while framing the statements. Fine. I will show you certain examples also to closely relate with it. For example, if I'm one of the applicant of the previous job description which we have seen for iOS engineer, if somebody is writing that I helped to develop an iOS app for a group of scientists, so this is how naturally people say it. Okay, this is very casual, but it's not easily. And see, if as a reader I cannot relate to it, that what is the depth of his work. Okay, what was the passion of his work. So in order to build a trust, in order to supercharge your content, what is the better way to write to include a powerful word, to integrate some brands, some quantification or detailing in this particular statement? And how I can do this thing? Just an example here. You can see I have used a word collaborated. So you can see collaborated with a team of some number. So I am displaying the size of the team also to develop an app for some. Here I'm writing the name of the organization also. I'm integrating the brand here, which was successfully launched in the date. So I'm giving the details also, and downloaded this number of times in this month. I'm again quantifying it. Fine. So here I'm making I'm building a trust with the reader here. I'm using all of these 4 things which I've just told you. How can you make your content more powerful? So whenever next time you're writing job profile, or you're writing about your projects, fine, you should use, or you should implement, at least you should include these 4 things in your statements. Okay. Now question could be like, what are the powerful words? How can I find powerful words, or how to define powerful words initially? Fine. So just for your help, I am able to compile a toolkit for generating powerful words based on the roles you are explaining. And just to show you, let me just click over it. This particular document consists different powerful word. When I say powerful word, these are just the action verbs based on the roles or based on the profiles which you may start to explain in your CV. Like in your job, you might have done a leadership kind of a role, or communication kind of a role, research kind of a role. Fine. So there you can use these words. Suppose you want to explain that you have performed a leadership role into a particular operation. Fine. So you can use these words there. For communication activity, you can use these words. Suppose you have trained someone, so you can use these words. So you can make use of these action verbs, while like in the example I show collaborated. Fine. So similarly, you can use these powerful words in order to start your statement. All right. And similarly, I've given some more examples of explaining the nature of your job. Like this could be in one of the example. Somebody is saying in their resume, I raised $5,000 for disaster relief fund. So it's not that easy to write just this statement. This is not building trust as much as it should. Fine. So what is the better way to write? Put certain powerful word, put certain brand name, put certain detailing, quantification. Try to do it if it is possible. Like instead of raised $5,000, a very powerful word is used, spearheaded $5,000 fundraising effort to assist victims of something. Here the name of the disaster is also written, like by promoting the message through something, and something detailing is there. Okay, making direct appeal with the number is there, potential donors. Similarly, I did original research on the effect of gender in hiring decisions. So again, a very generic statement. You should not be generic. You want to build trust with the employer. Fine. So instead of writing this, better way to write it is performed original research, again a powerful word, on the effect of gender in hiring decision by collecting, analyzing, summarizing. So all of these words could be found from the research kind of activity with X amount of data points. Source of detailing is there. Okay, name is there, branding is there. Fine. So these things you must take care. Try to visualize your resume which you have already made, and try to think whether you are lagging there or not. You must be. Have you included these things in your resume or not? And I could comment like out of 10, 7 or 8 resumes are missing out on these things. I will show you certain examples also, the resume which I have received. So these are the big miss in your resume. I hope I can convey my message here. Yes. You should be very critical. Seriousness is very must when you are sending your profile to an employer. Now, keeping these things in my mind, that I want to supercharge my resume, I want to make my resume more impactful. And for making my resume more impactful, I told you that there are simple mantras. What are the simple mantras? You should integrate powerful words. Okay. You should integrate brands. You should integrate quantity. You should integrate detailing. So that will make your resume content more powerful, more trustworthy. So as an activity, you can think about most recent career related experience. You are into a job, you might be handling certain responsibility. So think about the most recent career related experience which you have. Now try to align that this experience, how you manage this experience, what skill you have implemented to manage this experience. Okay, so try to take out the skill which you have used. Now from the skill, try to frame a statement. Now while framing the statement, take care of the 4 things: powerful word, brand, quantity, and detailing. So this will make an ideal job profile, a job detail. An ideal job detail will be like this. You can talk about the experience with the help of a skill, and then you can explain it in 1 or 2 lines using these 4 things. So it will supercharge the content. So in the same way, if you are doing a particular job, let's say if I'm working as a sales coordinator, so I may be having 3 or 4 responsibilities. So using these 3 or 4 responsibilities, I am using with certain skills. So I can name the skill and I can write the statement with brands, words, and a quantity and details. So this will make an ideal, description of your job. So as an activity, I would recommend everybody to do this activity. We will also do such activity while we are making step-by-step resume. For an example, I can show you this activity. How can you do? Like in my job, I may need to analyze data. So I can say the core skill, one of the core skill could be analyzing data. Fine. So what you did here, I have explained my job over here. I have explained my job over here that enabled the creation of large Excel database built with data points gathered from Security and Exchange Commission website on a 200 publicly traded companies, and use the database to analyze goodwill impairment calculation made by the firm during 2010s. So here you can see the job description includes everything which we have discussed. It has included a powerful word. Okay, enabled. It has included a brand, Security and Exchange Commission. Okay, it has included a brand, Security and Exchange Commission. It has included certain quantifications, and it has included a detail also. Just a second. It has included the brand name, the quantification, and the detailing. Fine. So that makes your resume or statement more impactful here. So next time, if you are explaining, like for data analysis, I have been appointed for a job, data analysis, and in data analysis, analyzing data is one of my core skill which I have implemented, and how I have implemented, I've just explained it in this manner. Okay, now at this moment, a very genuine doubt which came to the mind of all the participants, and I was expecting this also. Yuvika has asked this question: if there is so much details, then resume will be too bulky, right? As a fresher, is it okay if my resume will be bulky? Now, I would open this question to all the participants. So if I include so much detail, will my resume will get so bulky? Yes or no? This could be your perception. Or anybody would like to comment over it? No, Ashish saying no. Anybody else? There could be yes also. I could totally agree if there are yes also. No. Okay. These are basic details that should be involved. Okay. Okay, somebody else has, yeah, maybe. Okay, fine. See, I'm just going to show you certain screenshots of the resume I was able to find on internet. You can see this is someone who has explained his work experience. So he's currently working as a financial project assistant. Fine. So as a financial assistant, project assistant, he has explained his job role: assisted in analyzing potential real estate acquisition across X state with deals totally with XX million. So you can see, though this statement is missing out on the brand, but still this is including details and quantification. Okay, assisted HR team finance intern, 3 out of 4 interns. See, again, details and quantification. See, wherever possible, if it is possible, put the brand name also. Suppose if there are some renowned client is there, so he can put about the client here. Fine. Otherwise, at least put about at least the data or the quantification. So that's make your statement little relatable also. When assisted could be a powerful word, there could be detailing, there could be. So it's not every time it will make it bulky. Just for presentation, I have made it like this, but it will easily, you know, drafted in your resume, and it will not make it bulky. I'll show you a number of samples also for resume. I hope I'm able to convey my message here. Yuvika. There are certain more examples also. See, like this person is also working as a financial controller of or commercial product. So here he has written about oversaw data analysis team in identifying, again, some quantifications are there, some detailings are there, right? So you must include these things. They will make make your resume more trustworthy, more powerful, more relatable for the employer, because the people who's scanning your resume, they are looking for a trustworthy candidate who is passionate about the role. So passionate, if you are passionate, you must include these basic details. So that is the second building block of a resume. First was identifying the core skills from the job description, maybe from your natural skill. That was the first building block. Second building block is framing the sentence. And when you're framing the sentence, what are the must-haves? Powerful words. Again, I'm repeating it a lot many times because it is very important. No. So including powerful words, integrating brands, quantity, and detailing. That is the second building block, writing the statement. Now, third building block, which I'm going to talk about here, and that is also very important, will be writing the summary. Every resume must contain kind of a summary, not very elaborative, 2 to 3 lines, that is sufficient. You must include summary in your resume. And when you should make summary of on your resume, after framing the resume completely. Okay, generally what we do, we make abstract after the complete research. Fine. So try to compile your summary after you are done with making your resume. Now try to write your summary. Here I'm just telling you why, because it is very important as a building block element. Fine. So when you're writing your summary, there are some must-haves you should include. Not just write one line, an aspirational professional who's looking for better opportunities. This is not kind of an effective summary. What could be an effective summary? It is kind of a visiting card. Fine. So your summary should show that yes, you have those things, or you are right now, where are you in your career cycle? So these things must be reflected in your summary also. Like as an example, I am showing you some general statement here, that a skill summation. You can write any skill over here with your experience, if you have experience in which industry, if you have. Okay, so that is the opening line of your summary, that this is your major skill, major experience in this major industry. Fine. Now later on, if you want to elaborate your personality here, now this personality can match with the personality they wanted in the job description. If they want a team builder, you can match that personality over here. So it is very, very important to understand the job description. A characteristic professional who specializes. Now you can write all the relatable skills which are there in the job description, or which you have also, in a very natural blend. You should blend it very naturally. It should not look like you have just suffocated your skills over here. So this could be like a structure of your summary. Okay, just to understand, I can give you one example. Okay, this is the same line which I was discussing, that your resume summary should be framed with a particular mindset. That mindset I just discussed. Okay, let's take an example. This is a person, Josh, who is working as a product manager in a organic food firm. So his current situation is given to you. Okay, his industry is given to you, in which industry is working. Now we will try to make summary for Josh, his summary for Josh. Okay, so what could be summary? I have taken this structure out of it. Now I will try to work on this structure. The first line I'm going to work skill summation, since the Josh is working as a product manager. So skill summary could be a product managing expert with 4 years of experience. Okay, in which industry? Obviously he's working in a organic food firm. So I can say he's working in a food processing and distribution industry. Right? So this is the opening line of your summary. The next line, it should tell about the character of the person. Fine. So I could say specialized in managing. Now what skill? Managing the entire product life cycle from scratch. So you can see not a very big summary, but still it tells a lot about Josh. that what is the current situation of Josh and what he has, which I need. Okay, so this is how an effective summary should be. Not very elaborative, but still everything is in there, which is expected from the job description. I hope I'm able to convey my message here. Right? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. If there are doubts, please ask me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, I wanted to know about the app that you told us earlier.
Okay, for auditing,
Yeah.
see, you can search word cloud. Okay, word
Okay.
cloud. I can write it on the chat also so that everybody can.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Fine. So this is kind of a yes. Anybody else want to ask anything?
हेलो
Yes, Himanshu.
सर, एक चीज बताइए मुझे, जैसे मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है करीब 15 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है मेरे को
जी
और मेरी क्वालिफिकेशन बीटेक है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन।
जी
मैंने जो अभी तक काम किया है वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी में काम किया है एज ए क्वालिटी मैनेजर,
ओके
और अभी मैं एमबीए कर रहा हूँ डेटा साइंस और एचआर।
करेक्ट
तो ये बिल्कुल डिफरेंट हो गया जो अभी तक मैंने किया हुआ है।
वेरी फाइन यस
अभी मैं वर्किंग नहीं हूँ और मुझे जॉब चाहिए मान लीजिए,
करेक्ट
तो मैं रिज्यूम को फ्रेशर लेवल पे बनाऊं कि एक्सपीरियंस लेवल पे बनाऊं कि कैसे बनाऊं, मतलब
Okay, a very genuine question Himanshu has asked. Ki, this kind of problem can happen with all of us who are looking for a transition. Fine, I want to transit to a new sector, new profile. Then what should I do? Yeah, I will show the demo on resume also, Nitesh. So it's a kind of a question which could arise for everyone. Now, in that case, see, जैसे हिमांशु ने बोला, he has worked as in a very technical role, manufacturing or quality engineer, but he want to target something else. So basically, when I am starting with this particular session, resume building or profile building, your profile should be targeted. Your resume should be targeted. You can't go, see, very opening statement is your resume is not generic. First of all, your resume should be specific. It should be particular. So your resume should be, targeted. When you are targeting a data analysis job, data scientist job, your resume should target a data scientist experience. Because पहला statement क्या था हिमांशु, आपको याद होगा, job description देखा मैंने, है ना, मैंने job description देखा, उसको समझा। तो जब आप job description समझ चुके हो, तो obviously आपको पता चल रहा है कि quality वाले skills मेरे काम नहीं आने वाले हैं यहाँ पे। Clear? So you can say that you are going to, appear as a fresher. जब आप you are going to appear as a fresher, तो fresher के केस में आप data scientist के skills how will you display? Okay, so maybe during your education you must have done certain projects, certain internship, you must have worked on something. Fine. So you can use all those contents जो आपने data science का gain करा होगा during, because if you are going to apply for data science and you are studying for it, obviously you have those skills. Fine. You just need to show कि आप उसको summary में कैसे दिखाओगे। उस केस में आप ये नहीं देख सकते कि quality engineer, obviously, but you can say an aspirational data analyst, something like that. Okay, now willing to or aspiring to work for these profiles. Okay, so इस केस में आप इस statement को कुछ इस तरह से modify कर सकते हैं। Getting it?
Okay.
Your resume should be targeted. That is the crux. That is the gold line. I can, I want to tell everyone, your resume is not a place to be very general. You're not going to tell your life story in your resume. Fine. So you should target your roles. जो भी roles के लिए आप apply करें. Suppose I want to go for HR manager. I want to go for data scientist. So in that case, you should have two resumes. One is targeting HR roles and one other is targeting data science roles. Otherwise, what will happen if I send the same resume to both the places? At one of the place, I'm going to be, screened out. Getting it? Okay. Now, before actually going into building your resume step by step, I'm just going to put certain tips, certain myths, that what are the myths about resume building or profile, what are the tips I can give you, okay, what are the do's and don'ts on your resume, that we are going to discuss very shortly here. Okay, now there is one question which I can ask to everyone, that should you tell your life story in your resume? Okay, yes or no? Should you tell everything about you in your resume? People are saying no.
No.
A big no, obviously a big no. You should not tell about everything in your resume, because as I said, your resume is targeted. It's not generic. Nobody is having that much amount of time that he's going to read your life story. 6 seconds is what people give to your resume. Okay, so those 6 seconds are very important to harness. Okay, so yes, a big no for telling a life story. Your resume should be direct, should be targeted. Second question is, should you keep your resume for one page anyhow? Again, it's kind of a contradictory question. It can raise so many eyebrows if I say yes or if I say no. So please, I want your feedback also. Should you keep your resume on one page anyhow? Yes or no?
Oh, no, not really. Like it depends on their experience.
Correct, correct. Maha is saying that yes, it's not mandatory. I should keep it only on one page. Totally depend on the experience, totally depend on the nature of work, nature of contribution you have. Yes, Gyanesh is saying generally one. See, mostly people prefer a one-page resume so that they don't have to put a lot of effort to change the pages. But yes, as Maha has suggested, yes, if you have like an experience of 7 to 10 years, 12 years, and you have ample amount of relevant experience. See, I'm putting a pressure here, relevant experience. So if you have that much amount of relevant experience, you can take a leverage and you can go to 1.5 to 2 pages on your resume, but only provided only if you have that much amount of relevant experience. Otherwise, if you are a fresher, you just have some experience, fine, relevant experience. Now, when I say relevant, that means if you're going for a data science job, only the data science experience is relevant. Quality engineering experience is not relevant there. Though you can put the quality engineering experience in your resume, but in very brief. Don't explain that quality engineer role there. Fine. So if you have the relevant experience as per the job demand, please put it. Okay, please take a leverage to explain it briefly to integrate everything which we have discussed. But try to keep your resume in one page if you don't have that much volume of experience to show. Okay, I hope it is clear. The myth is clear. Next thing is, you must not leave any gaps in your education and employment on your resume. There are many students we have who are again restarting their career. They have done their job, some job previously. Now they have taken a break and now they want to resume their career again. So this question could be relevant to them also. That should you leave any gaps on your education and employment on your resume? Yes or no? Like you have completed your education, let's say on 2020, you haven't worked for a year. Then in 2022, you're looking for a job. So should you leave this gap as it is, or should I cover it with some internship, some project, some kind of a detailing? Should I cover it?
Should be covered. Yes.
It must be covered. Okay. Anyone else? I need more people to participate. Otherwise, how will we understand that what is the seriousness? Because we are offering you placement support, and for placement support, it's a two-way thing, right?
सर एक चीज बताइए.
Yes, Himanshu.
सर अगर कुछ हो ही ना बताने को फिर क्या करें? अब वो गैप है तो है, सब उसने कुछ किया ही नहीं है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. देखो, the discussion is open from both the ends. आप yes or no, मैं दोनों पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे. If you think कि नहीं है तो you put yes, give a yes, give a no. Okay. Yes, we can leave it, but we need not to explain. Okay. Now, the fair explanation which I can give as per my perception, see, as an employer, when I'm taking an interview with the candidates, I know that the job market is really competitive. Okay, it may take certain time to find the appropriate profile-oriented job. So I could understand it can easily take 6 months or 1 year for a people to find or to approach a particular job. Nowadays, it needs some time for upskilling yourself for a particular job application. So I understand this could be the amount of time which could be spent by the participants. So nobody is going to question you there for a 6 months or a 1 year job. Fine, people understand, even for the 2 year job also, 2 year gap also. But if you have a significantly higher gap, like 5 years, 10 years, then obviously you have to cover it with something. Okay. Otherwise, for small jobs, people do understand that where it could be. Okay, and they do not question it generally. Okay. Should I move forward? Okay. should you include non-paid jobs, volunteerism on your resume? Maybe during your schooling or during your college time, you were a participant of a group. Okay, you have done a non-paid job or internship. Should you include that also in your resume? Yes or no? Yes, we have to include. Yes. Should you include non-paid job volunteerism? Yes or no? Yuvika is saying yes. Okay. Anyone who can say no? So most of you are, delivering a yes for this question. See, again, this question is a kind of a tricky question I could have asked, because if you remember the first question, life story, I told you that your resume is something which should be very specific, very target oriented. Okay. And if you have done a job, non-paid job, or if you're a part of a group in your college, and if that experience is not relevant to the job which you are targeting, then you must not include it. If only if your non-paid job, your volunteerism was somewhere relevant with the job which you are seeking, then you should include. Otherwise, do not include every volunteerism, every job which you have done. Getting it? Getting my role? So again, there could be yes, there could be no. Based if you have a relevant experience, then please do it. Otherwise, if you don't have a relevant experience from those non-paid job or volunteerism, please avoid it. Do not make your resume bulky, right? Now the next question could be, should you include funky, eye-catching? There is only 6 seconds for people to see your resume. So should you include funky, eye-catching email IDs on your resume? Yes or no? Obviously a big no. Okay, because you need to show yourself, you need to present yourself as a professional, serious candidate. And to show yourself as a serious professional candidate, you should be professional with your email IDs. Okay, so you should not include funky email IDs. Even if, see, nowadays most of the people apply for job, or employers reach to you through your LinkedIn IDs, through your social media application profiles. So there also you should keep it professional. Like if my LinkedIn ID is very funky kind of a thing, a LinkedIn profile photo, I should change it as soon as possible. I should put a more professional profile photo, more professional cover photo on my LinkedIn. So please take care. If somebody can figure out, yes, my LinkedIn ID is not updated from a long time. So please update it. Please put a kind of a professional image on your LinkedIn ID also. Just my suggestion. Okay. Now I'm going to start the second part of my presentation. First was the building block, and in the building block, I just conveyed 3 important messages to you. Understanding your core skills, understanding core skills through the job description. Second part was making a powerful description by using 4 things, and then writing the summary. Okay, so these were the 3 important building blocks of a resume. Now going into the second part of this presentation, that building your CV or building your resume step by step. Now, before starting this process, I'm showing you these 4 profiles here, these 4 resume styles. Okay. Now, if you observe them closely, what do you think? Which profile or which kind of resume is more suitable or more, successful in terms of job application out of these 4? Second. Somebody said second one. Okay, mostly people are saying second. Why do you think it is second one is more effective or more relevant? Somebody is saying first and second also. So if you're saying second or if you're saying first, can you defend your answer? Anybody?
Maybe it is looking more simple and attractive, like eye-catching, maybe.
But second, first, third, and fourth are more attractive, I guess. Eye-catching. More formal. See, again, I'll take you back to the statement where I told you that people are not going to spend a lot of time on your resume. Just 6 seconds. And if I see the 4th resume or the 3rd resume, I have to look where he has put about experience, where he has put about the job. Okay, there are different scattered. I can say they have put a very beautiful kind of a resume in front, but still it takes some time for me to put some effort. Fine. So why not to remain on a simple format, a more professional format? Fine. So that people can easily go to the areas. There are certain eye scanning techniques I just mentioned. So in the eye scanning techniques, they are onto these areas directly. So these areas should be as simple as possible. It will look more simple, more professional. Most of our resume formats should be as simple as possible. Okay, that is the first thing I should say. If you can go for first, third, or fourth resume pattern if you're applying for some like creative roles, creative jobs, then it may help. Otherwise, also in creative jobs, also please try to follow it. Otherwise, it's just a personal choice. But again, I will say preference should be the second one. Am I clear? Yes or no? Neha is saying first one because it's on point. Yeah, it's definitely on point, but I would say, see, general tendency when you are reading a book. Okay, how do you read a book? From left to right? Generally left to right. Fine. So if somebody is reading a book from left to right and this book is divided into two columns, let's say, so again, there could be like some distraction. And try to think about bulk of resume. You have received like thousands of resume, hundreds of resume, and you have to read that thing, everything there. So again, as an employer, try to think with the mindset of an employer, somebody who's reading your resume. So he would want a simpler resume. He's not there to wait 10 seconds or 20 seconds on a resume to appreciate the beauty of the resume. Fine. We should keep it simpler. Maybe, yeah, that is why I say mostly it is from left to right. There could be in Urdu languages, but we generally, avoid resumes in Urdu. Okay. Now, for the reference, see, after this interaction session, I could give you a little homework because it's very important for your career growth also. So for that homework, you may have to, rework on your resume step by step. So for that, I will provide you this document I'm able to prepare. In this document, I have written in very detailed manner that what steps should you do. And in very detail, if I open this document, let me just open it. You see this document. This is a document consisting of almost, I think, 10 steps are there in this document. And each step is, very detailedly explained. Like you should start with opening the appropriate template, in which software you can open it. Okay, where you should put your name, where you should put your contact detail. So everything in very detail is written in these steps. This document is going to help you big time. If you're making your resume for yourself, or if you're making resume for a friend, for a junior. So this document is going to help you a big time there. Fine. So I will provide you the link and the resources also after the presentation, but make use of this resume while you're reworking your resume. Fine. So that is why I've shown it in my presentation. So access this document. I will provide you the link. Now, the first step of your resume is picking a template. Now, why I'm telling you picking a template, because I just told you, and I think Himanshu was saying that he has experience of something and he is going to target some other job. Fine. So you should have a frame ready, a resume frame, a template must be ready with you, and you just need to, modulate, edit it sometimes, edit it accordingly, and just you can, make different resumes based on different targets. For HR roles, you can make a different resume. For data analyst role, you can make a different resume. So there, if you have the template, you just need to modify a little bit. Otherwise, you have to format it, make it, everything is there. Fine. So pick a appropriate template while making a resume. If you have a template ready, you just have to put the content into the template. That will help you, or it will make your effort and time count. Fine. So when you are making your resume, or if you're reworking with your resume, I have reworked with many resumes I have received from you people. So I will show you them also. So while reworking with your resume, you need to put a template. And for your reference, I am able to share certain templates with you. There could be other templates also as per your convenience. So I'm going to pick a particular template, any template, and I'm going to work on it. So let's say if I select this first template, if I show you this template. Okay. Now over here, you can see this template consists of, on the left side, this consists of some name, the first name, the last name, comma, extras. So this extra could be the role you are currently working and the role which you are seeking. Okay, this extra could be your extra information, data scientist, okay, HR manager. So this could be written here. So somebody who is reading your resume, who will understand this particular role, the person is targeting this role, or he has specialization in this role. So that could relate very easily on the very first line. Then you can put your contact details, your email ID, your LinkedIn profile, your phone number. So here also you can see, if you can observe, I'm not putting entire LinkedIn, my profile URL here, www.linkedin.com/ something like that. I'm not putting it here. I'm just writing LinkedIn profile, and then I'm hyperlinking this with my email ID. How can I hyperlink? I can just type LinkedIn and I can press Control K if you're working on even on your Microsoft Word or Google Docs. So it will open up this this interface. Over here, I can paste the link of my LinkedIn profile. So it will hyperlink this word with my LinkedIn profile. Somebody who's reading it, he can directly click over it and navigate it to your LinkedIn profile. You can see the web page layout is also previewed here. So please put it like this, and then you can write your phone number. So this is the first line of the template, you can clearly see. Later on, there is a section to explain the summary. I told you, please write your summary at the end of your resume. It will help you to write an effective summary. So right now, if I'm keeping it down, and we have already discussed in the building block also summary, so I'm leaving it for right now. Then you can see I'm writing certain skills. I'm going to talk about my skills here. So this skills should align with the job description which I have read. See, I'm going to target the data scientist role. So I must have gone through some job descriptions, 5-6 job descriptions about the data scientist. So I know what is the demand in the market, what skills I have, and I should put accordingly at least these 6 skills here. It's not like it's not like I should put 10, 20 or 15 skills here also. That will look arrogant that I know it all. You should not be, like that also. You should summarize your skills, let's say with a count of maximum up to 6 or 7 or 8. Fine. So keep it simple, keep it narratively. Don't go it, into a lot of showing a lot of skills here itself. Yes, you can make leverage of in the other departments or other sections of this template. Okay. So this is how you can show your skills as per the job descriptions, as per the requirement over here in this section. Next, you are going to explain your work experience, and it becomes again one of the critical part on your resume if you're experienced. So here you can write the name of the organization. You can write the dates from when to when you have worked or you are still working. You can write some general things about, see, this is the place you can be general about your job role. You can write your general responsibilities here. But when you're coming to this section over here you are going to be very specific about your job roles. Okay, suppose you're working as a data analyst. So in data analyst, in the profile of data analyst, what roles you have performed? You may have performed the role of data interpretation. You must have performed the role of data presentation, interpretation and presentation. Fine. And then when you're explaining data analysis here, data interpretation here, you should put certain brands, powerful words, which we have talked about, powerful word, brands, quantification and detailing. You can give some example also if you want to. Fine. So this will make your statement more trustworthy over here. So please mention, see, you have mentioned 6 skills here. Try to show them in your job profile also, that how you have implemented these skills in your job. So this will make your resume more relatable. Okay. So put all your experience here. Okay. Suppose somebody like somebody is going to target a role, but his previous experience do not match with the targeted role. So in that case, what the person can do? Person can write just like previous roles. Okay. And just mention the name of organization, designation, like here you can the job role or job profile. Job profile, organization name, and date. In that case, please do not explain it. Otherwise, it will become irrelevant that you have started to explain this job profile also, which is not targeting your current role. So just to keep it simple, you can write it like this. Okay, but please put all the relevant job experience over here in this manner. If the job experience is irrelevant, just write one line and be done with it. Okay, so this is how you can explain your professional experience or working experience relevantly. Next, if you have done any project, here also you can see with the project also I have written relevant. Okay, and if you remember in my presentation, I have told you optimizing your resume. So how do you optimize? Using solid titles. The third point was using solid title. So don't just write projects. If you're looking for a data analyst job and you have done a data analyst project, so please mention it somewhere in that manner, in that fashion. Don't simply write projects. Okay, so write a relevant title here. Then in that project, what skills you have shown. You have already mentioned your skills, so write the name of the skill and then give the description in the same fashion which I have told you. Okay, the detailing, quantification, powerful words. So do write it in the same manner. Just a second. Okay. So you have mentioned your projects here. Then going into the next section, that is education. Here you are going to explain your education. And when you write your education, and even when you're writing with you, I forgot to tell you here, when you're explaining your work experience, please write the most recent work experience on the top, and then you can go backwards. Do not write the very first job experience over here. I have seen certain profiles which they were writing the first job experience on the top, and then they are going on with the latest one first. Okay, follow the reverse chronology. Okay, write the latest one first, and then you can move backwards. Similarly, in case of education also, write your most recent education first, highest degree, and then move backwards. Now, when you're explaining your highest degree in the education here, okay, please mention the name of the degree and avoid acronyms, avoid short forms, MBA, MCA, MCOM. Write it complete, okay? Masters of Business Administration. So please avoid acronyms, even in your job profile also, even in the top section also, please avoid acronyms. Okay, then over here, if you have specialized, like you're doing MBA in data science, so write Master of Business Administration, and then in the bracket, you can write data science or something like that. Fine. So you can write it here, the specialization. Any extras, like if you want to mention the place of your institute, if you want to, you must mention the year of your education. Right now, suppose if you're pursuing MBA, you can write pursuing, or if you have completed your MBA in 2021, please write the year 2021. Fine. So this will complete the information about your degree. Now, from where you have done this degree, write the name of the institute or the university. Okay, if possible, hyperlink this one also. Like you write Lovely Professional University, hyperlink by pressing Ctrl K, and over here write the URL website here, www.lpu.in. Okay, so this will hyperlink also. So this will again create a kind of an impression that yes, you are serious about your resume. Fine. You can write the name of the city and the state in the bracket. So this will completely, explain your degree here. Now, second highest degree, you can write in the same manner. Okay. Then you can write, suppose this is the age of, professional development in terms of certifications. Many people go for certifications, online courses. Fine. So if you have any kind of relevant certification, again, I'm saying relevant certification, if you're looking for a role of project management, and if you're showing some other certification, that is not going to help you. If you have a relevant certification, please put your certification also itself here itself. Fine. And suppose if you have done like 15-20 certifications, in that case, please go for maximum of 4 certifications. Otherwise, it will again, bulk up your resume. Go for pick the top 4 or the most relevant kind of certifications. List them here. Fine. How do you list them? You can write the name of the certificate. Yes, agile development or agile project management, PMP, PI. You can write the name of your certificate there. Many institutes provide for verification of the certificate, they provide certification link also. Okay, verification link also. You can write their certification number, link, name of the issuer who has issued this certificate to you, and in which time you have done the certification. And please write it again in the reverse chronology if possible. Fine, latest one first and then the moving backwards. So this is how you can put your certifications here. At the same time, we talked about volunteerism. So if your volunteerism is relevant with your current job which you are targeting, please mention it in the same manner. Otherwise, try to avoid it. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Govardhan, your voice is little cracking.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Govardhan.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, what is it?
Yes, sir, I have a question.
What is
it? You said about the education criteria.
Yeah.
My highest education is BTech. Sir, my highest education is BTech Mechanical.
Okay,
but now I'm pursuing MBA from level operational.
correct.
So can I mention that MBA here?
Yes. I just given the example. Suppose you're still pursuing MBA, so you can go for writing Masters of Business.
Sir, I said my highest degree of education is Bachelor of
I understand. I understood. I got
Technology
your question.
from Mechanical Engineering.
I understood
Now,
that.
can I mention the MBA here? Because
Yes.
my
Continue,
but my
please.
education is not complete.
Correct. That is why we are.
Yes, sir. That I said yes, sir.
That is why we are leveraging this extra part. Why I have written this extra part? Because you are telling your employer that yes, I am still pursuing this degree.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can write it in the extra part. In the extra part, you can write the year of graduation, or you can write pursuing. So that will tell the recruiter that yes, this guy is still pursuing this degree.
Okay.
I can see some questions on the chat also. Let me just try to address them. Somebody has asked that how should a CA drop out with 3 years of experience in accounting, auditing, taxation in CA firm as senior executive, completed MBA, now just present his resume for a better job. So you are a CA dropout. That means you have not completed the certification, I hope, Shashi. Okay, so in that case, please mention only that certificate which you have completed and which you have, or suppose if you're pursuing, please write it as a pursuing thing, and then you can present your resume in that way. Experience, if your experience is relevant with the job you are targeting, then you can mention your experience also, that I am a 3 years, I am this graduate or this professional with a 3 years of experience in this particular industry or in this particular role. Then you can mention your experience also in your resume, otherwise no problem. Next question is, I had prepared and sent resume. Do I have to make again and resend to the university? Amarjit, this question could be answered in a way. If you feel your resume is up to this standard, which I'm talking about, if it follows all the norms, then you can avoid sending your resume again. But if you feel that is the most likely case, I don't think, if you have explained it with this depth. So in that case, please do forward your relevant resume once again, because it will help only you. Because if you can frame your resume again in this manner, and we are going to share this resume with the employers, so that would be better for in terms of your growth only, if you can rework with your resume once again on this case.
Sir,
can you send this Word document to us?
I'm going to share each and every resource I'm showing you. I'm going to share everything with you. Because
like sir, जैसे मेरा पुराना resume है, तो जैसे आपने बताया like volunteer service, other relative volunteer, ये तो मेरा erase हो जाएगा. Project मेरा कुछ नहीं है. Education में मेरा 4 ही है, जैसे like my higher education, BCom honors and 12th and 10th. And software skills मेरे को Microsoft Office आता है और Tally थोड़ा बहुत आता है. तो मेरा जो रिज्यूमे हो जाएगा सिर्फ उतना ही रह जाएगा जो पुराना है, बट उसको इस हिसाब से नहीं मैंने बनाया जिस हिसाब से आप आज एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल अमरजीत, आपका क्वेश्चन आपका ठीक है, सोचना कि आपका प्रोजेक्ट वगैरह वो मेंशन नहीं कर. यस सर,
सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू. मेरा एक और इनपुट मुझे लगा यहाँ पर, जैसे जो अमरजीत जी का इन्होंने रिज्यूमे भेजा हुआ है, क्यों ना हम एक काम करें, अगर ऐसा पॉसिबल हो तो अगर इनका रिज्यूमे लेकर और हम उसको यहाँ इनके मदद से फ्रेम कर सके, कहाँ पर क्या चीजें, वो एक बच्चों के लिए, सबके लिए एक
एग्जांपल हो जाएगा. बिल्कुल सर, वी कैन ट्राई हियर. हम एक बार अमरजीत सर का देख लेंगे रिज्यूमे क्या उन्होंने भेजा है, एंड विल ट्राई टू वर्क इट आउट क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं.
हाँ, कि अगर आज की इस वर्कशॉप में हम उनका कम से कम एक ये हो जाएगा कि एक रेडी होता है, तो he will also have an idea, and on the same other students can have an idea कि how to frame it.
Definitely sir.
Yes sir, so same.
We'll try to do it. We'll try to do it definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to cover the template part. What are the
sure. No, I'm not interrupting you.
No problem.
Complete it. Once this done, in that case.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I'll just give certain examples also ki what could be an ideal resume. And suppose if you're missing out on the content, what you are going to display on your resume, then there could be some challenge that we will try to address it together. No problem. Okay. So let me continue with this template part. Volunteerism, if relevant, please show it. Otherwise, try to avoid it. Then in the other relevant information, you can take leverage of this section. Okay, other relevant information. Here you can show your additional languages which you know. Now, please focus on this term additional languages, language which I have written over here, not languages, because see, sometimes recruiters are looking for people who know some local languages, so they can easily interact with the local people there. Fine. So that is why it's become very essential to mention the languages you know and the level of the language. What is your proficiency in the language? That gets very important. But still, if you're writing additional language, try to avoid write English here. Why? Because if you believe that if the employers believe that you have made this resume yourself in English, so this is a proof of your proficiency in the language. So no need to write English. If you want to write, you can go with it. But in that case, please make this header as languages known. If you're writing additional languages, you can avoid writing English over here, and you can write other languages which you might know, fine, with their proficiency. Next, in the technical skill column, I told you to optimize your resume. You should mention relevant softwares. So if you have knowledge of relevant software, now when I say relevant, again, relevant to your job. So if you know relevant softwares, most likely Excel, word processing software, presentation, they are relevant in almost all kind of job. So at least write them. Okay, and otherwise, if you have job specific softwares, you have certain experience of a ERP system or certain experience of some Scrum or something like that, please mention this in the technical skills part. Fine. Otherwise, you can find this in the job description also. In the job description also, companies do mention what tools a candidate must know or they desire such candidates. So see the names of those tools. Okay, try to gain the basic aspects of those tools and write it over here like Excel, but basic. Okay, in the bracket you can mention basic. That means the employer will understand you know at least basic part of those tools. Fine. So you must mention these technical skills in your resume. And then you can mention the awards, any awards or recognition you have got. Like if you're working as a data scientist and you're looking for targeting a data scientist job, data analyst job, fine. And if you have got any reward in the same department, like say you were rewarded or recognized by your company, previous employer, you can mention it over here. Fine. So such kind of rewards and awards and recognition you can mention in the template. So this is the whole frame of a template. If I want to explain it like as an example, if I want to display you like as an example of a template, let me just show you one example.
सर एक चीज और बताइए
जी हिमांशु जी.
सर ले ऑफ दिखा सकते हैं उसमें रिज्यूम में?
ले ऑफ आप किस तरह से दिखाना चाहते हैं?
किस तरह से? क्या निकाल दिया नौकरी से, क्या करें?
बट ये एक नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट हो जाएगा हिमांशु. अगर आप देखें, आप खुद सोच के देखिए, एज रिज्यूमे यू आर प्रेजेंटिंग योरसेल्फ एज अ ब्रांड, और आप नहीं चाहेंगे कि आप अपना नेगेटिव साइड दिखाएं एज अ ब्रांड एम्बेसडर.
नहीं सर, एक चीज बताओ, 2013 में निकाला था, 10 साल हो गए, अभी तक नौकरी नहीं मिली.
ओके, सो फिर उस केस में अगर मैं आपका रिज्यूमे पढ़ूंगा तो मैं सोचूंगा ना कि इसको नौकरी क्यों नहीं मिली, इसके अंदर कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम होगा, नहीं नौकरी मिल रहा है इसको. सो मैं ये नहीं चाहूंगा कि मैं उसको नेगेटिव साइड दिखाऊं अपने चीज का. मैं ये दिखाऊंगी हाँ चल मुझे नौकरी नहीं मिली, मैंने 2013 तक ये काम करा और मैं अगर उसी काम से रिलेटेड जॉब के लिए टारगेट कर रहा हूँ, सो मैं उसको पॉजिटिव साइड दिखाऊंगा कि इस जॉब में दीज स्किल्स आई वर हैविंग दीज स्किल्स एंड आई वाज अप्लाइंग दीज स्किल्स इन माय जॉब. एंड उसके बाद मैंने ये अपग्रेड भी करा. 2013 से अभी तक आपने कुछ अपग्रेड करा होगा अपने स्किल्स में, तो आप ये दिखाओगे इन स्किल्स को मैंने अपग्रेड करा है, इन प्रोजेक्ट्स में मैंने काम किया है, इंटर्नशिप किया, जो भी करा है. आप उस चीज को, उसको पॉजिटिव साइड को दिखाएंगे. यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू शो कि यार मुझे निकाल दे, उसके मैंने कुछ करा ही नहीं, है ना. तो दैट्स नेगेटिव. वो फिर उसको कवर करना पड़ेगा, उसको आप इस तरह से शो नहीं कर सकते ना.
नहीं, एमबीए कर तो रहे हैं सर.
हाँ, एमबीए कर रहे हैं तो आप उस चीज को दिखाओगे कि एमबीए के टाइम पे देखो, एमबीए जब आप कर रहे हैं तो कुछ ना कुछ इंटर्नशिप, कुछ प्रोजेक्ट करा होगा साथ में, या फिर किसी कोर्स में ही कुछ ना कुछ स्किल आपने असाइन समझा होगा, सीखा होगा. कुछ डिसर्टेशन करेंगे, कोई प्रोजेक्ट करेंगे, कुछ भी नहीं करेंगे ऐसे.
नहीं, जो एमबीए कर रहे हैं उसके बेसिस पे नहीं लग सकती ना.
बिल्कुल एमबीए के बेसिस पे लगेगी ना नौकरी, कौन मना कर रहा है. हाँ, ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ, जैसे अगर आप की बात करें, आपका प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस क्या था?
मैं सर बीटेक हूँ, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन.
हाँ, जो आपने क्वालिटी वाली बात बताई थी, आप ही थे वो?
मैं 2001 का पास आउट.
जी. तो अभी आप जैसे किस रोल एमबीए किस में कर रहे हैं? डेटा साइंस में कर रहे हैं आपने शायद बताया था.
डेटा साइंस एंड एचआर में कर रहा हूँ.
डेटा साइंस एंड एचआर. तो सपोज अगर आप अपना रिज्यूमे भेज रहे हैं किसी एचआर रिक्रूटमेंट रोल के लिए, ठीक है, तो उस केस में आप एचआर रिलेटेड जॉब्स को या एचआर रिलेटेड स्किल्स को आप टारगेट करके अपना रिज्यूमे बनाएंगे. उस केस में आप अपना क्वालिटी वाले काम को इतना ज्यादा तवज्जो, इतना ज्यादा है ना प्रेफरेंस नहीं देंगे.
नहीं, एक चीज बताइए, जैसे अभी तक मैंने मैकेनिकल टाइप ऑफ कंपनी में काम किया जिसमें मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होती थी, कोई प्रोडक्ट बनता था
जी.
ये डेटा साइंस जो है ये सारा का सारा आईटी में होता है कि ये मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भी होता है?
हाँ, अब देखो ये आपका ना थोड़ा सा कोर की तरफ क्वेश्चन चला गया. डेटा साइंस इज नॉट अ फील्ड जो लिमिटेड ही है आईटी में ही या फिर मैनेजमेंट रोल्स के लिए. सपोज आप प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का काम करते थे, अगर सपोज इन एनी ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट आपको कहीं पे किसी उस प्रोफाइल में, उस प्रोजेक्ट के टाइम पे कहीं पे कुछ डेटा एनालाइज करना पड़ा, ना, चीजों को समझने के लिए, या मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के टाइम पे, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भी होता ही है डेटा एनालिसिस, क्यों मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं, कहाँ से नीड आई है ना, किसको टारगेट
नहीं,
कर
वो
रहे हैं।
होता है उसमें क्यूसी टूल्स होते हैं हमारे,
जी
जैसे उसके एनालिसिस करते हैं हम।
बिल्कुल। तो क्यूसी टूल्स में भी एनालिसिस तो होता ही है मेरे ख्याल से, जहां तक
हाँ
मैं
जी,
अगर गलत नहीं हूँ। तो
हाँ
आप
जी।
उन एक्सपीरियंस को शो कर सकते हैं अपनी जॉब में, कि मैंने डेटा एनालिसिस करा, थोड़ा सा उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन कर सकते हो। उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन कैसे करेंगे? यू कैन एक्सप्लेन कि किस क्लाइंट के लिए आप वो काम कर रहे थे, क्या उसका आउटपुट रहा, और उसको कैसे करा। तो डिटेलिंग, क्वांटिफिकेशन और ब्रांड, तीनों चीजें आ गई उसमें,
हम्म
है ना।
हम्म।
आई होप
तो
आई
ये
एम।
ये
जी
जो डेटा साइंस की अभी जॉब जो आप लोग हमें देंगे, ये सारी आईटी कंपनीज की आएंगी कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनीज में भी डेटा साइंस की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है स्टार्टिंग में,
ओके
फ्रेशर लेवल?
ओके। सी, अभी इट्स जस्ट अ प्लेसमेंट सपोर्ट, किस टाइप की जॉब आएगी, किस टाइप की जॉब नहीं आएगी, इस पे हम अभी इस टाइम पे कमिट नहीं कर सकते, है ना। अभी वी आर जस्ट शेयरिंग विद द रिक्रूटर्स, जहां पे जिस टाइप की पोजीशन मिलेगी उनको, देन दे विल स्टार्ट टू शेयर दोज पोजीशंस विद यू। ओके, सो
तो ये
क्या।
अभी करते करते एमबीए जॉब लग जाएगी कि 2 साल के बाद ही लगेगी करके कंप्लीट होके?
ओके, करते करते जॉब लग जाएगी। सी, वी आर गोइंग टू शेयर द प्रोफाइल्स, जैसे ही पोजीशन निकलेगी कंपनीज जरूर आपको डायरेक्टली कांटेक्ट करेंगे, ठीक है, या हमारे थ्रू भी करेंगे। तो अगर तो उसी टाइम पे उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट हुई और आप उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट में मैच हो रहे होंगे, तो आपको इमीडिएटली दे देंगे वो ज्वाइनिंग,
हम्म।
है ना। ये
तो आप लोगों ने
थोड़ा
अभी से
थोड़ा
भेजना
सा।
शुरू कर दिया उनको?
हाँ, ये देखो, हम भेजना चाहते हैं आपकी प्रोफाइल, और आपकी प्रोफाइल भेजना चाहते हैं, उससे पहले प्रोफाइल भी तो उस लायक हो, अच्छी हो, उसके लिए हम ये सारी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, 6 से 8 यहाँ पे बैठ के, आपको हम अपना टाइम लगा रहे हैं, आप भी अपना टाइम लगा रहे हैं। हम क्या चाहते हैं कि आपका प्रोफाइल उस अकॉर्डिंग अकॉर्डिंग हो, कि हम भेज पाए। मान लीजिए हम कोई ऐसा रैंडम सा रिज्यूमे भेज देते हैं, वो आगे से रिज्यूमे देख के डिनाई कर देगा कि नहीं, इसको नहीं रख सकते हम, है ना। दैट इज द पर्पस की वाई वी आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग दिस होल एक्सरसाइज।
तो सर पहले बैच के लिए तो थोड़ा सा लेवरेज ले लीजिए कि सबको ही लगवा दीजिए।
वो मेरे हाथ में नहीं है ना, वो तो इंडस्ट्री में
हिमांशु जी,
रिक्वायरमेंट है।
मैं अभी सर इसका जवाब देता
जी
हूँ। हिमांशु जी, देखिए, हम लोगों की कोशिश ज्यादा से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स की प्लेसमेंट के लिए काम करने की है।
जी सर।
बट उस प्लेसमेंट के लिए काम करने के लिए हमें जो सबसे ज्यादा सपोर्ट चाहिए वो आप लोगों की तरफ से चाहिए। उसके
जी
लिए
सर।
जैसे सर ने बताया कि आज हमारी एक एक चीज जो जॉब रिक्रूटर हैं उनके हिसाब से हमें तैयार करना होगा आप लोगों को।
जी
नंबर एक, उसमें सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है जो आपको इंटरव्यू में बिठाएगा, वो आपका रिज्यूमे होगा।
जी
अगर आपका रिज्यूमे उस लेवल का नहीं है, जैसे सर ने बताया, आज के माहौल में सिर्फ वो जो सॉफ्टवेयर है वही आपके रिज्यूमे को उठा के साइड में कर देगा, किसी ने देखा भी नहीं है, और यू विल बी डिसअपॉइंटेड कि मैंने 20 जगह पर अप्लाई किया, मुझे उसका कोई जवाब नहीं मिला।
जी
उसके बाद में ठीकरा आप फोड़ोगे कि साहब मैंने पैसा लगाया था इतना, एलपीयू के साथ में एमबीए किया, उसके बावजूद मुझे फायदा क्या हुआ। हम
जी
आपको बीच में नहीं छोड़ना चाहते, हम इसलिए आपको हैंड होल्डिंग एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, या आप लोगों के साथ में, कि आज आपको साथ लेके हम आपके रिज्यूमे बनवाएं,
जी
आपके अगर लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल की जरूरत है वो बनवाएं, और जहां पर उनमें कमियां हैं उनको सुधारें, और आप लोगों को हम लोग तैयार करें प्लेसमेंट के लिए। ये जो
जी
हम एक्टिविटी कर रहे हैं, ये आप ये मान के चलिए हिमांशु जी, ये पहली एक्टिविटी है जो आपको हम ये कर रहे हैं, दैट इज रिज्यूम बिल्डिंग एक्सरसाइज।
जी
इस रिज्यूम बिल्डिंग एक्सरसाइज के अलावा आप लोगों के साथ में, ये मैं सभी स्टूडेंट्स को कहना चाहूंगा, इसके अलावा हमने एक पूरी सीरीज आप लोगों के लिए तैयार की हुई है, जिसमें हम बहुत सी एक्टिविटीज आप लोगों के साथ में करेंगे, ताकि आप लोग जॉब के लिए तैयार हो पाए। आप कैसे इंटरव्यूज को फेस करें, इसके ऊपर हम लोग वर्कशॉप्स करेंगे।
जी
वर्कशॉप, और इसके लिए और हमें किन किन चीजों को करने की जरूरत है, वो सब एक्टिविटीज हम लोगों ने प्लान की हुई है।
ठीक सर।
हम आपसे कमिट नहीं कर रहे हैं कि हम कितनी जॉब दिलवा पाएंगे, बट हाँ,
जी
हम अपने कोशिशों में कसर नहीं छोड़ेंगे, ये आपको प्रॉमिस करते हैं।
ठीक सर।
यू विल बी गेटिंग कि आज जो एक रेगुलर स्टूडेंट्स को भी जो इनपुट नहीं मिलती होगी, वो इनपुट आपको मिलेगी, ऐसा मैं आपको वायदा कर सकता हूँ ऑनलाइन एलपीयू ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन की तरफ से।
थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है, हम आपको ज्यादा से ज्यादा जगहों पर बिठाने की कोशिश करेंगे इंटरव्यूज के लिए। आज भी मैं
जी
आपको बताऊं, अगर आप लोग हमें अपने रिज्यूमेज अपडेट करके देते हैं, हम उस केस में आप अपनी एमबीए कंप्लीट करने की तो बात छोड़िए हिमांशु जी, मैं ये कहूंगा कि हम अभी रिसेंट के अंदर अगर आपके रिज्यूमेज तैयार हो और आप बाकी सब चीजों के लिए तैयार हो जाए, तो हम जॉब्स हो सकता है आपको अभी दिलवाने के लिए हो जाए।
जी सर।
आप लोगों से सपोर्ट चाहिए हमें कि जैसा सर ने गाइड किया, अभी जैसे मैं समझ पा रहा था, मतलब सच बताऊं तो इट इज लिटिल बिट फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग आल्सो कि आज सर इज पुटिंग ए लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट। आज आप जैसे कर रहे हैं, सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, ऐसे बहुत कम स्टूडेंट्स हैं। मैं ये चाहता हूं कि आप लोग सवाल पूछें, सवाल पूछेंगे तो सब लोग सीखेंगे। तो सिर्फ मेरा यही कहना है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा सवाल पूछिए। मतलब होना ये चाहिए कि आप लोगों के भले के लिए हो रहा है, आपके तो सवालों की बम्बार्डमेंट होनी चाहिए सर के ऊपर कि सर ये सवाल है, ये सवाल है। वो सवाल पूछिए ताकि आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा बेहतर अपने रिज्यूमे को बना पाए।
जी
तो सब लोगों को मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा विद फोल्डेड हैंड्स कि आप सब लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा पार्टिसिपेट करें, क्योंकि ये एक्टिविटी आपके लिए है। मेरा कोई टारगेट नहीं है कि मुझे आप लोगों को, सब लोगों को रिज्यूम जॉब दिलवानी है, बट हाँ मेरे एफर्ट्स में कहीं कमी नहीं रहेगी, ये मैं आपको वायदा करता हूं। तो उसके लिए मुझे आप लोगों का साथ चाहिए। आप प्लीज हमें, हमारी टीम को सपोर्ट कीजिए ताकि हम सब आप लोगों को मदद कर पाए।
थैंक यू सर।
राइट सर, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू अजय सर। बेसिकली प्रॉब्लम हमारे साथ ये भी आ रहा था ना कि आपके प्रोफाइल उस क्वालिटी के है नहीं, उस स्टैंडर्ड के है नहीं जितना हमें चाहिए। बिकॉज सपोज अगर कल को मेरे पास कोई पोजीशन लेके आता है कि मुझे एचआर रिक्रूटर चाहिए या फिर मुझे डेटा एनालिस्ट चाहिए, और मैं उसको वो वाला प्रोफाइल भेज दूं जो आपने हमें भेजा हुआ है, तो वो रिलेट नहीं कर पाएगा इतना, वो आगे से मुझे मना कर देगा कि ये मैं इस पे काम नहीं कर पाऊंगा। आई वॉज इन टच विद सर्टेन स्टूडेंट्स की अपने प्रोफाइल्स को अपडेट कर लीजिए। मैं धीरे धीरे सबसे बात कर रहा हूँ। आई एम गेटिंग नो, दैट इज वाई वी हैव अरेंज दिस सेशन ऑल्सो, कि आपको एक मास में ये इन्फॉर्मेशन पहुंच जाए कि एटलीस्ट आपका प्रोफाइल किस लेवल का होना चाहिए, सो दैट इट विल बी ईजी फॉर अस एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कि हम आपको कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी के लिए ले जा पाए वहाँ पे। That is why we have arranged all of this session. I hope कि इस session के बाद you will try to rework, you will put a little thought, a little effort on your resume, and you will resend your resume to us so that we can compile it and share it with wherever it is required. Okay. So when see, I have just told you about the template. Let's take an example. एक हम example उनका भी लेंगे जिनकी बात कर रहे थे, but let's take an example कि एक job description है मेरे पास. Let's say this is a job description for a project manager. Fine. So if I read this project manager job description, you see the project manager should have a background in business skills management, budgeting, analysis. You should be excellent communicator, comfortable managing multiple tasks. Okay. You should be a team player. We will discuss about where you have to send your resume. We will send you a mail about the information. Now, responsibilities would be coordinate internal resources and third-party vendors, vendors for the flawless execution of the project. Ensure that all projects are delivered on time. So these are the responsibilities, very particular responsibilities: developing project scopes, objectives, involving all relevant stakeholders, ensuring technical feasibilities, ensuring resource availabilities. Fine. So these are the particular responsibilities. Now, what are the eligibility criteria or skills which are required? Great educational background, preferably computer science, engineering, technical project manager, proven working experience as a project administrator. Okay, multitasking, PMP certification is a plus. So these are the required skills to make you eligible for the job. Now, once you're going through this job description and suppose वो जॉब मुझे ही अप्लाई करना है, सपोज आपको, आप अपने ऊपर सोचिए कि ये जॉब मुझे ही अप्लाई करना है, सो हाउ विल यू शेप अप योर रिज्यूमे फॉर दिस जॉब? सो उसके लिए इफ आई गिव यू अ सैम्पल resume also, कि आप उसको पढ़ के देखिए for this particular job description, how your resume should look like. For an example, I have taken an hypothetical figure. This guy is applying for that project management job application. Fine. So he will put his names in the template. He will use this template. Now in the summary, what he have written. Okay, this guy has certain experience of 5 years of experience in this industry and for the appropriate role. If this guy is experienced, otherwise if this guy is not experienced, then what he will do? See, he is going to target this job. That means he has at least done his studies, done his some certification, some courses. So during the certification, during the courses, he must have gained certain insights about this. So he will start to mention about his aspirations over here, in which industry, in which role he has to work or he's seeking. Fine. Now he can talk about his skills, what skills he is going to use for this particular role in the summary itself. So for both of them, for experience as well as for the fresher, how can you craft this summary part? Once you're able to craft this summary part, you must write the core skills which we have discussed during the building block section. Okay. Once you're able to, now this core skills, again, I have told you that you have to make use of the job description. make use of the job description, try to figure out what are the core skills expected in the job description. Like in the core skills, client vendor relation was there, documenting was there, business communication was there. So make use of all of these skills and try to express that you also have those skills through this section. And later on, you can talk about individual job experience, work experience you have, if these are relevant with the current job you're targeting. So this particular guy has worked as an operational manager in particular industry for this date to this date. Now he have demonstrated these skills over here in this job. Project management he has demonstrated. Now when he's writing that I have shown this skill in this job, so he has written the detail also that he has ensured. Now again, the fourth thing, powerful word, integration of the brand, detailing and quantification, ensure execution of the firm's highest priority project. Example, he has put oversaw the firm rebranding in whatever the year, including redesigning, packaging, fine. So the detailing is also present over here. In the same way, when you are putting that this skill I have used in this job, so you should put it in a powerful way, in an optimized way, fine. And we just understood what is the optimized way and what is the powerful way. So please make your use of those things which I have discussed during the building block section. Then see, this guy has also worked previously as a site engineer, constructional manager, but that role was not according to this target, okay, project manager target. So he has not explained the job roles here. He just put it as a as a experience, that I have this experience here. Then even in the relevant project, he have written just one project which he has done, okay, because this is relevant to the project management job. He has written about his education, qualification, certification, which is relevant again to this job, and some additional information. So this is how you should also frame. See, framing sentences is very critical when you are making your resume. Okay, don't be very casual about writing the sentences for summary or even for the work experience. Try to implement at least those things which we have discussed through this presentation. Okay, let me find the resume sent by Amarjit. I guess Amarjit has sent us a resume. Let me find that resume and let's just try to rework on his resume. Just a second. Amarjit, I hope you don't have any problem with showing your resume here. Okay, thank you. So see, this is the resume sent by Amarjit here. So he has written about his summary over here, a challenging career opportunity in reputable organization that will allow me to utilize my skills. And now, what do you think? I'll ask this question to everyone. What do you think this summary is lacking in? Now, Amarjit is trying to target an industry, target a role, and nothing about that target, right? So you should be very target specific when you are writing a summary here. That yes, Amarjit has said that he don't have that experience, but at least you are studying, Amarjit, for MBA, yes, finance and marketing, right? So assuming that you are applying for a marketing or a sales job, let's say, or a finance job, so you will write an aspirational or something like that, candidate or professional, aspiring to perform these responsibilities. Now the responsibility could be marketing or finance related, fine. Then you can see about the job description, you can see what characteristics they need. So you can write the name of the, you can pick any characteristic and then put to, this kind of characteristic, I want to implement these skills. Now you can mention those skills which you have gained over the time during your MBA degree. So you can mention those degrees here to explain the summary. Getting it, Amarjit, or everyone? Let me just try to take the template first and let me just try to frame it, the statement. Just a second.
Amarjit ji, please open the mic so that sir can help you out, and this will be learning for all.
Okay, see guys, when I will share this link, these links, I'm going to share the link of the template also. So when you open this link, I advise everybody to go to file and make a copy of it. Do not start, first of all, I think you won't be able to edit it first of all, but still, if you want to edit it, make a copy or download this document first as a Word file, and then start working on it. Like if I'm working on Amarjeet's profile, so I'll make a copy of it. I can name it something like that. Okay, then it will make a copy of this document. Okay, when I'm copying it, you can see some formatting problem has occurred. So first I will manage it first. No issues. Otherwise, the template is formatted neatly. Now here I will start making the necessary entries. Okay, you see how careful I am with the format. The name was in capital letters, so I am making it capital. Okay, so do not alter the formatting. Just try to put your content, do not alter the formatting. Otherwise, your resume won't be uniform. Your resume must be uniform, so it will not distract the reader. Now, Amarjeet is looking for some roles right now. He's not working on any role, so he can skip the extra part. Now here he can mention his email, LinkedIn profile, and phone number. Now here, if Amarjeet wants to write his summary on behalf of Amarjeet, if I want to write, I can say like an aspirational individual seeking responsibilities in sales. If I'm targeting a sales or marketing roles, sales marketing opportunities, okay, that is my opening line. Then I can talk about the characteristics I have. Now a company is looking for, like, say, someone who is analytical, so I can write an analytical. If I possess analytical thinking also, an analytical thinker who specializes in. Now here I will start mentioning the skills, okay, in which I specialize, and those skills must be relevant with the job I am targeting. Okay, so you better know for, like, say, for sales or marketing related roles, what skills are more appropriate. Then you start to blend them naturally over here. Okay, whose specialization in effective communication, let's say, just for example, I can say communication and building relationships. Okay. So please take care of the spelling mistakes, grammars once you are done with making your resume, because it's a big off if there are spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes are there. See, there are, if you see these lines and these lines, there is some difference in the formatting. So I will make it sure that formatting must be similar. Fine. So this kind of work you can put in your summary if you don't have a experience here. Okay. So this could be my summary. It should be written in last, but just for the example, I have shown you at the first. First, you make your resume first, then try to write your summary. Even suppose if you want to edit it later on, you can edit it. Now here I will write the expertise, the core skills which I have. So for that, you have to seek certain job descriptions, find certain job openings. There are job descriptions posted. Read them. What are the requirements? Write those skills over here. Okay, try to, if you're able to find some, obviously if you're studying for the same purpose, you will find some matching skills in the job description which you have also, or which you want to have. Okay, suppose if you want to have a particular skill, please work towards it and try to mention it over here. Fine. Like if I write in one of the skill which I think which is most important for a sales executive or for sales role, let's say business communication. This could be one of the topmost skill which is required for sales job. Fine. Sure, sir. We will try to see we cover all the important parts. Okay. So this is how we can write all the specifications, all the required skills, and not just like, suppose if I'm writing some of the resumes which I have seen, people have written skills like singing.
सर
Yes.
सर जैसे लाइक फाइनेंस के फील्ड के लिए जो जो स्किल चाहिए होती है, जो मेरे को लगता है कि मेरे पास वो स्किल्स है,
क्या लगता है, आप एग्जांपल दीजिए मुझे कोई।
लाइक कि अकाउंट्स को एनालाइज करना, फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस का स्किल्स, पोर्टफोलियो एनालिसिस, ये सब का स्किल।
जैसे आपको लगता है फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस, स्ट्रेट अवे गो फॉर फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस, डायरेक्टली लिखिए यहाँ पे।
लाइक कोई स्पेसिफिक लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है कि ये सब ये करना, ये नहीं है तो मैं लिख नहीं सकता। लाइक अगर मुझे लगता है कि मेरे पास ये स्किल्स है तो मैं लिख के रख सकता हूँ।
अगर आपको, if you think you possess this skill and the same skill is there on the job description, also similar skills are there in the job description, fine, please do mention it. Getting it, Amarjit?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay, see, ये अगर जॉब की डिमांड भी है और आपके पास है भी, तो आप क्यों नहीं लिखेंगे इस चीज को? आई अंडरस्टैंड कि आप बोल रहे हैं मेरे पास वो एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है इससे रिलेटेड, इस जॉब से रिलेटेड, बट यू हैव द स्किल्स और डिमांड भी है, तो एज अ फ्रेशर यू आर अप्लाइंग, इट्स नो प्रॉब्लम इफ यू आर मेंशनिंग दैट स्किल। वो आपको इंटरव्यू में इवैल्यूएट करेंगे या जब भी आपसे मिलेंगे तो इवैल्यूएट करेंगे आपके पास वो स्किल है या नहीं, एटलीस्ट आप यहाँ पे अपने प्रोफाइल में उसको मेंशन करेंगे, ठीक है। सो इन द सेम वे यू मेंशन ऑल ऑफ दीज स्किल्स। नाउ एज अ फ्रेशर द चैलेंज इज how do you play with this thing? Okay, work experience or professional experience. Okay, in that case, instead of writing this professional experience, you can change the header name also. Okay, you can write skills demonstrated. Okay, उस केस में as a fresher you can write skills demonstrated. Now कैसे आप demonstrate कर सकते हैं? You might have worked on a project, you might have done a research, might have worked, written a blog, something like that. So anything could be like where you have demonstrated this these skills which you have written at the previous section, fine. So write about them, like during your education you were assigned certain project, yeah, you were working on a project. Okay, please mention the project name. Okay, please mention something in general about it. Then mention this skill which you have implemented out of this 6, which skill you have implemented, write it as it is, and then frame the sentence. अब frame sentence कैसे frame करना है? We have just talked, integrate the powerful word, integrate some brand. If you have, suppose आपने कोई project करा, किसी client के लिए करा या किसी institute के लिए करा, तो and suppose किसी group के लिए करा, suppose आप LPU में काम कर रहे हैं और LPU में किसी group के लिए काम कर, आपने वो project कर दिया, या फिर किसी group को आप target कर रहे हैं उस project के through, तो उस group का नाम लिख सकते हैं. You can give the name of the targeting group. You can give the details and quantification there in the content, in the structure part. Fine. So, इस तरह से as a fresher also you can demonstrate your skills over here. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can write these things here. Then in that case, you can write the education. जो highest education, suppose if you're pursuing MBA, please mention MBA completely, not in the acronyms, MBA, specialization, pursuing, name. Okay, hyperlink these things, previous qualification, any certification if you have, fine, you can write it. If your volunteerism is not a part, not exactly targeting your job role, you can delete it, otherwise you can keep it, fine, and write the other relevant information. So these are the things which we must include in our resume.
Sir, like you said, the summary written in last.
Yeah.
So first we write the my name written there, then functional expertise,
yes,
like business communication.
Start with this section, then move directly to this section. Okay.
And
once you are done,
at last we read this summary.
Because see, once you're able to go through this section, you will have a lot of content to write here. Because आपको पता चल जाएगा आपको क्या फ्रेम करना है, किस तरह से स्ट्रक्चर करना है. Generally मैंने समरी में आपको बता दिया, समरी में आपको ओपनिंग लाइन क्या होगा. The opening line will be your major skill, और that major skill will be related to the job जो आप टारगेट कर रहे हैं. अगर आपका एक्सपीरियंस होता फाइनेंस एनालिस्ट का, तो मैं यहाँ पे क्या लिखता, फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट विद एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ 2 years. सिंस आपका एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है तो हमने एक जनरल स्टेटमेंट यहाँ पे लिख दिया ओपनिंग में, बट वहाँ पे मैं टारगेट सेक्टर तो लिखूंगा, टारगेट इंडस्ट्री तो लिखूंगा, वेदर फ्रेशर और एक्सपीरियंस, फाइन. देन आई विल टॉक अबाउट क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है मेरा, वो मुझे जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन से या कंपनी के वेबसाइट से भी मिल सकता है. अगर मैं वैसा हूं तो आई विल इंप्लीमेंट दैट थिंग ऑल्सो हियर, एंड उसको मैं कैसे कंप्लीट करूंगा, मेरे पास कुछ स्किल्स हैं उसके लिए, सो आई विल मेंशन दोस स्किल्स हियर. ओके वो स्किल आप यहाँ पे भी लिखेंगे, बट इनको मैं एक सेंटेंस फ्रेम में यहाँ पे समरी में लिख दूंगा। तो अगर आप यहाँ पे फिगर आउट कर चुके हैं अपनी स्किल्स को, तो समरी में लिखने में इट विल बी इजी। गेटिंग इट?
Like you, like that. Right now, we make a journal resume. Whenever any opportunity comes, then we can edit the resume like that company wants.
See, general, when you are saying general ना, I would not say exactly general, because see, जब हमने आपसे डेटा लिया है या फिर जब अभी आप भी हैं, तो आपको पता है कि आपको किस सेक्टर में जॉब टारगेट करना है। ऐसा तो नहीं है अगर आप एमबीए कर रहे हैं तो आप किसी भी पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में जाने लग जाएंगे।
नहीं सर, जैसे अभी
हाँ।
आपने बोला ना, जैसे लाइक एनालिटिकल स्किल हो स्पेशलाइज्ड ना, तो आपको
हाँ।
फाइनेंशियल स्किल के बारे में थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन करना होगा।
बिल्कुल।
बट अभी पता नहीं है किस कौन सा अपॉर्चुनिटी आएगा। तो अभी जब हमको यूनिवर्सिटी को जो सबमिट करना है, तो लाइक आई सेड कि इसी हिसाब से सबमिट कर सकते हैं क्या?
अमरजीत, आपकी स्पेशलाइजेशन एमबीए कौन सी में है? किस में एमबीए कर रहे हैं आप?
फाइनेंस एंड मार्केटिंग में मैं कर रहा हूँ।
फाइनेंस और मार्केटिंग। सो इस केस में आई वुड सजेस्ट यू कि आप 2 प्रोफाइल 2 टेम्पलेट बना लीजिए, है ना?
लाइक वही मैं आपको वही बोल रहा था, लाइक
बिल्कुल।
अभी तो हम एक ही सबमिट कर सकते हैं कॉलेज में, बट मैं अपने पास ऐसे 2 अलग सेपरेट बना
आप
सकता
बना
हूँ
के रखिए। देखो, आप बना के रखिए, हम आपका रोल देखेंगे। आप मार्केटिंग पे भी जा रहे हैं और फाइनेंस में भी जा रहे हैं, तो हम आपसे जब मुझे जरूरत पड़ेगी मैं आपको फोन कर दूंगा, अमरजीत मुझे फाइनेंस वाला रिज्यूमे भेज।
ओके सर, ओके
गेटिंग
सर।
इट? सो बी रेडी विद बोथ।
ओके
एंड दिस इज अ जनरल मैसेज फॉर एवरीवन जो भी पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज एमबीए में आपके पास डुअल स्पेशलाइजेशन है एंड यू शुड हैव अ टारगेटेड रिज्यूमे फॉर बोथ ऑफ देम। आई होप एवरीबडी अंडरस्टूड।
और सर ये जो भी मतलब जो एडिटेड रिज्यूमे सेंड करना है कॉलेज को, यूनिवर्सिटी को, कब तक करना होगा?
एज सुन एज पॉसिबल अमरजीत। मैं तो कह रहा हूँ कल भेज दो, मुझे आज रात को भेज दो जब पॉसिबल है, बिकॉज आई नीड टू कंपाइल।
मॉर्निंग 8 बजे तक मैं भेज सकता हूँ।
आप जब भी, जितना जल्दी, सबके लिए जितना जल्दी आप ये मुझे भेज सकते हैं प्लीज, बिकॉज आई नीड टू कंपाइल ऑल द इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड सी आई नीड टू वर्क आउट। आप मुझे रिज्यूमे भेजेंगे, मुझे रिज्यूमे को एक बार फिर से देखना पड़ेगा। आई हैव टू गो थ्रू विद ईच ऑफ द रिज्यूमेज। ओके, अगर कहीं पे रिवर्क की और फर्दर रिक्वायरमेंट हुई, आई विल टॉक टू यू टेलीफोनिकली एंड फिर मैं आपको वहाँ पे गाइड कर सकता हूँ। एंड नॉट जस्ट रिज्यूमे, आप सिर्फ रिज्यूमे पे लिमिट मत होइए। हमारे पास टाइम थोड़ा कम था, मैं आपको ज्यादा डिटेल में लिंक्डइन के बारे में नहीं बता पा रहा हूँ, बट प्लीज अपडेट योर लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल्स। जिस जॉब को आप टारगेट कर रहे हैं उसके हिसाब से अपने लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल्स को भी अपडेट करिए। प्रोफाइल फोटोज एंड कवर फोटोज को प्लीज अपडेटेड अकॉर्डिंगली। We will share all the personal email, all the email IDs जहाँ पे आपको कम्युनिकेशन करनी है या फिर जैसे हम कम्युनिकेट करेंगे। डोंट वरी नितेश, वी आर ऑलवेज देयर टू हेल्प यू अगर इस तरह से कोई भी हेल्प चाहिए होगी तो।
लाइक सर, लास्ट क्वेश्चन है कि पिक्चर्स लगा, अपनी फोटो लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है ना, कि इम्पोर्टेंट
रिज्यूमे पे प्लीज अवॉइड फोटोग्राफ्स। आपको फोटोग्राफ लगाना है, आप अपने लिंक्डइन पे लगाइए, जो भी पोर्टफोलियो आप चैनल यूज कर रहे हैं उस पे फोटोज लगाइए। रिज्यूमे पे प्लीज अवॉइड करिए फोटोज को।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
ओके, एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस?
Sir, I have one question about internships.
Yes, please.
That is it important to add internship?
Again, if you remember, before diving in wala slide, I have shown you a question. Let me just take you back. Yeah. See, internship wala question could be falling under this discussion. Should you include non-paid job, internship, or volunteerism? If your internship is relevant to the job you are targeting, you must include it. And you must include it in the manner we have discussed. Like you should write the name of the internship, what was your role, name of the internship, and then the time when you have done this internship. And then in the content, please write, use powerful word, integrate, quantification, detailing if it is possible, and please explain it accordingly if you have the relevant internship.
Okay.
Any other questions? How a company will view a person who is doing online MBA after graduation? Not as a, see Ganesh, again, I will tell you that they are treating both equally. And I would say कि online MBA वाले पे थोड़ा सा और edge भी हो सकता है. Why? Because most of the people who are doing online, they have some kind of experience. Fine. So you people are already exposed to the corporate environment, industries. So आपको ज़्यादा weightage भी मिल सकता है इस केस में. So equivalent or more, I could say. Any other questions? Okay. Now, last thing which I would request to everyone, that when you are done making your resume, so resume जब आप save कर रहे हैं, when you are saving your resume, how will you save your resume? Okay. So resume save करते time आपने बस ध्यान रखना है, you have to take care, like the resume I just shown you. Just a second. Just a second. Let me show you how should you name your resume. You see, the name of this file is role which you are targeting and the name of the person. So from the file name itself, person will understand what kind of role this person is targeting. Please name your resume accordingly and keep your resume on a cloud, like at least on a cloud like Google Drive, so that you can, share your resume easily. You can share and make it shareable. When you make a, Google Docs, you can go to share and make this link available. Okay, anyone with the link can view this. Don't keep it restricted. So make it available for everyone and then share your URL if possible, so people can easily access it on their mobile phone or on their system. So make your resume, keep the name of your resume like this, keep it on some cloud, Google Drive, something like that, so that it will be easy to share. And this is my last tip for everyone. We are going to send all the formats, all the job descriptions. Even if you see, if I show you here, I miss out on a point. See here, sample resumes I have placed. So I'm going to share the link of the sample resumes also. You see, there are some resumes which you can open. These are the resumes made by industry experts. They are working in different roles. So you can read their resume also. Read their resume, see how they have written their roles. Like this person is working as a special assistant to the executive division of the Secretary of the State. So have written his work role very beautifully. So for different work profiles, I am able to find out different resumes made neatly by the industry experts. So I'm going to share this file for IT system jobs, for finance jobs, okay, for developer job. So there are job related resume framed already. I'm able to share it with you. I'll share it with you. Read about them, how the effective resumes are written by the professionals, and try to implement the similar kind of thing in your resume also. Okay. So we are going to send all the formats, all the resources. I'm using this in this presentation with all of you. The last request is please complete or rework on your resume and send us. We will mention the email ID, and we will mention the subject also, name of the subject by which you can send us mail, and mail that resume to us as soon as possible. Some of you might have already sent, and if you think your resume is not up to date, please update it as soon as possible. Thank you guys. On your email ID, we will send the mail and the link of the resources, the email ID which we have with you, of you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. So I will be done. In case if you have any problem, you can contact us. Okay, we will reach you and we will discuss all of these things. Thank you. Ajay sir, I'm done. If you can.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Now I want to ask students, how is this session? I had put a request to you also to fill the feedback form, but still, हिमांशु जी, अमर जी, जो भी students जिन लोगों ने कम से कम मैं ये उम्मीद करता हूँ participate किया है, give us the feedback. If anything more needs to be done, we are here to help you out. And be candid. हमें बताइए कहाँ पर क्या करने की जरूरत है. We are ready to do it. मैंने जैसे पहले भी कहा, आप सब लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट किया कि हम लोग इसको एक हैंड हेल्ड एक्सरसाइज की तरह से ले रहे हैं, कि हम ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको अकेले छोड़ रहे हैं कि आपने यहाँ से MBA किया, कहानी खत्म. नहीं, हम आपको अपने साथ लेके चलना चाहते हैं. आप लोगों के साथ हम चलना चाहते हैं कि कैसे हम आपके लिए और बेटर कर सकते हैं इस एक्सपीरियंस को. और उसके लिए जैसे हिमांशु जी, मैंने पहले भी कहा, आपको अपना कोर्स खत्म होगा ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. हो सकता है कि अगर आज हमारे पास ओपनिंग हो, हम अभी आपकी प्लेसमेंट के लिए काम कर रहे हैं.
थैंक यू सर.
ठीक है, आप सब लोग हमें अपने रिज्यूमेज अपडेट प्रोवाइड करवाइए. हम बाकी एक्टिविटीज भी आपके साथ प्लान करते हैं, और इन दी मीन टाइम हम सब लोग मिलके आप लोगों की प्लेसमेंट के लिए एफर्ट कर रहे हैं. इवन सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि जिन लोगों की हिमांशु जी जैसे हैं कि जो बाय चांस जॉब में नहीं है किसी वजह से, या अमरजीत जी जैसे जो फ्रेशर है, इवन जो लोग जॉब के अंदर भी हैं, उन लोगों के साथ भी वी आर हैविंग ओपनिंग्स विद अस. अब उसके लिए हमें आपको तैयार करना है. हम एक जहां पर ओपनिंग आई है, जैसे अर्पित सर ने कहा कि अगर हम आपका रिज्यूमे भेजते हैं वो अनप्रिपेयर्ड होगा, रिजेक्ट हो जाएगा। तो हम लोग चाहते हैं कि आप अच्छे से उसके लिए तैयार हो जाए, देन ओनली। जैसे कहते हैं ना कि एक प्लेयर जो है उसको एक प्रॉपर कोचिंग की जरूरत होती है, जब वो तैयार हो जाता है तभी उसको खेलने के लिए फील्ड में भेजा जाता है। इट्स द सेम लाइक, हम लोग वेट कर रहे हैं कि आप कब तैयार हो जाए, आपको हम उसके लिए फील्ड में भेज सके, कंपनीज के पास भेज सके इंटरव्यूज के लिए। तो अगर कोई और आपका इनपुट है तो आप हमें बताइए।
और एग्जाम भी अलग है ना, जैसे रेगुलर के हैं अलग स्टाफ, वैसे ऑनलाइन का अलग है।
क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं बताइए, पीछे से कुछ
हाँ।
जवाब आ रहा है। बताइए मैम, आपके शायद डिस्कशन पीछे से हो रही है कि प्लेसमेंट ड्राइव्स के लिए, तो आप बताइए हमें क्या कहना चाहते हैं।
नहीं सर, वो जस्ट हम लोग डिस्कशन कर रहे थे, मतलब प्लेसमेंट के रिगार्डिंग।
नहीं, हम वो वी वांट टू बी पार्ट ऑफ द डिस्कशन, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग सो। उन्होंने जो भी कहा गलत नहीं कहा कि हमारे लिए ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए प्लेसमेंट ड्राइव्स होने चाहिए। वी आर ट्राइंग फॉर दैट ड्राइव्स ओनली। और कोई स्टूडेंट, किसी का कोई और सजेशन हो?
ये सब जितने लोग पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं ये आपस में कैसे मतलब वो कर सकते हैं बातचीत?
सर आप लोग रिस्पेक्टिव आपके जैसे क्लासेस पहले भी रही हैं, तो आप लोगों का एलपीयू लाइव के नाम से ग्रुप बनाया गया होगा
जी।
तो एलपीयू लाइव ग्रुप में आप अपने जो पीयर स्टूडेंट्स हैं और साथ में आपके जो टीचर्स हैं उन लोगों से आप इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं। और डिस्कशन फोरम है आपके पास में, वहां पर भी आप इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं।
अच्छा, ठीक है।
ठीक है जी। सो विद दिस, थैंक्स अ लॉट स्टूडेंट्स। एंड बिफोर स्टूडेंट्स आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक अर्पित सर कि जो उन्होंने अपने वर्किंग आवर्स के बाद भी अपना वैल्यूएबल टाइम निकाला and so informative session he has given to us. Thank you Arpit sir, thanks a lot
Most
for the
welcome, sir.
inputs you
Most
have
welcome.
provided to us.
See, sir, any session, I would believe that any session is as effective as the participants. So if the participants are able to, respond to our request and they are able to, rework on their resume, that would be success of this session.
Very true, very true, very true.
And last question, I think Ashi is asking that her resume, if provided that she is a fresher, her resume will be as effective as the working experience. See, Ashi, working experience or fresher, if you are able to display that you have got what are the expectations of the employer, they must contact you. They will contact you, and then accordingly they will process it. So don't make yourself small that you don't have experience or you're fresher. Please try to put effort on your profile, and further things will unfold. Right? Good luck with that.
यहाँ पर मैं एक और बात कहना चाहूंगा, जैसे अभी आशी ने सवाल किया कि आज जो ओपनिंग्स है वो ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ एक्सपीरियंस लोगों के लिए है, फ्रेशर्स के लिए भी बहुत ओपनिंग्स है। फ्रेंकली स्पीकिंग स्टूडेंट्स, लोग कहते हैं बेरोजगारी बहुत है, मैं कहता हूं कि रोजगार बहुत है, करने वाले काबिल लोग नहीं है, अपने आप को दिखाने वाले लोग नहीं है कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं कंपनीज के लिए। तो बेटर ये है कि आप सब लोग कमर कस के तैयार हो जाइए कि आप क्या कर सकते हैं। ये मत देखिए कि किसी ने आपके लिए क्या किया, ये देखिए आप क्या कर सकते हैं और उस रोल के लिए अपने आप को तैयार कीजिए। जॉब्स बहुत है, सो प्लीज cooperate with us, make this exercise what Arpit sir has given to you, so that and come back to us with your questions कि क्या क्या आपके सवाल हैं, उनके हम सवालों के जवाब दें और आप लोगों के लिए साथ मिलके हम और बेहतर तरीके से काम कर पाए। So on this note, I thank Arpit sir and dear students, specifically Himanshu ji and other students who had participated in this one. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ajay sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
महाराज जी सनातनी हिंदू आप हैं, आप एक कथावाचक है, आपका काम उल्टा चलाना तो नहीं है, या ये तो सरकार का काम है या कानून का काम है। आप तो हिंदुओं को, सनातनी हिंदुओं को भड़का रहे हैं, जो सबसे सहिष्णु माना जाता है। भड़का नहीं रहे, अब तुम जगा रहे हैं। हमारा यह बयान पूर्णतः अहिंसात्मक है।
ये बहुत पसंद है, जस्ट लव इट। पसंद तो है पर इतना भी नहीं। और ये